your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News this morning, Tennessee Representative Andy Ogles is facing strong criticism about a comment about the war between Israel and Hamas. We're going to tell you what Representative Ogles said yesterday and what he meant to say coming up in a few minutes. Plus, school choice in Tennessee. 2 amendments seek to defy how Governor Lee's proposal could work.
The surge of migrants at the southern border continues. Coming up, I'll have what Senator Bill Hagerty has to say.
Well, thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland, just after 4 a.m. here on your Thursday. We're going to get started with former President Donald Trump, who's headed to Music City later today. Our Fox 17 News photojournalist David McClure live giving us a look at the Gaylord Opryland Resort. That is where Mr. Trump will be speaking at today's National Religious Broadcasters Convention. That annual meeting is being held over there at Opryland. The president will be one of the keynote speakers. We will be covering Mr. Trump's visit throughout the day right here on Fox 17 News. This morning, he is scheduled to give the address coming up a little bit later this evening. Continuing coverage on the surge of migrants at the United States southern border. Now, Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty is leading a group of other Tennessee officials, including mayors and sheriffs, to the border to see it firsthand. Senator Hagerty says what's happening now makes every state in America a border state. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar tells us one of the things that the senator discussed at a press conference in Nashville.
Justin, inside the Fred D. Courthouse behind me, Senator Hagerty and elected officials address the media. Senator Bill Hagerty claims migrants crossing the border are bringing fentanyl into this country. But what's worse, he says, it's being trafficked right here to the state. According to the CDC, opioids are causing the death of around 80,000 Americans a year. That's 75% of total overdoses across the country. Hagerty says that fentanyl drug overdoses are increasing here in Tennessee every month and that their jails are full of people that are involved in drug trafficking. Again, Hagerty believes that migrants are contributing to the influx of drugs. Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, who went with Hagerty to the border, adds to this.
And anything they can do, or us sending our Tennessee National Guard down there that can slow the flow, we need to do it. And that's what anything they do, it helps us. And again, I go back, there's people dying.
We are working on talking to the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol to find out if the drug seizures at the southern border are coming from migrants or from U.S. citizens who are trafficking the drug. Reporting live in downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
4:03 our time, taking a look at your forecast. This is the day we've talked about all week long. We said Monday through Wednesday, no problems, but Thursday would be our next weather maker. Now, what is new this morning? There are a few little changes to the forecast. If you have not been really monitoring the weather since yesterday morning, let's break down what could be new for you today. Small changes to rain timing. I've pushed it back. So rain waits a little bit longer to get here, but then lasts a little bit longer into the overnight. Still no signs of severe weather. Good there. But Saturday, slightly unsettled depending upon where you live. Everything's still all clear for Code Red. No major threats, but that changing to Saturday might catch you off guard if you're not paying close attention here in the next 10 minutes. Taking a look over downtown, Lower Broadway, got all the action going on before they get rid of all the construction equipment for the upcoming weekend. Taking a look right now. Don't usually show current temperatures at 4 o'clock in the morning because we've been in the 30s all week long. 58 degrees right now. Warmest start so far easily, but don't get used to it. The nighttime temperatures do stair-step down. One more thing to know about today. Rain not going to really pick up until after noon in the Nashville area, but the wind picks up throughout the morning into the early afternoon. Wind gusts as strong as 35 miles per hour. We'll time out all of today's rain hour by hour in the next check of your Code Red forecast in about 7 minutes.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about here to the roads. This is going to be I-40 at Donaldson Pike. You make that drive out there this morning. As you can see, traffic there moving along without issue. We're doing okay so far out there on the roads. No big holdups in either direction. We will continue to watch things for you, let you know exactly what we find. But right now, we're off to a great start. Steer clear traffic for you live and local with you through 9. 5th District United States Congressman Andy Ogles is in hot water over a video making the rounds online. It shows the pro-Palestine activists asking him about children killed in the Gaza Strip. Now, Senator Ogles says, quote, "I think we should kill them all, if that makes you feel better. Everybody in Hamas," is what the representative said. Now, Ogles released a statement last night trying to clear the air. It says in part, "These terrorists deserve to die. I was clearly referencing Hamas terrorists during the exchange." Now, you can read the full statement on our website at fox17.com. By the way, Representative Ogles made those comments last week. Continuing coverage of school choice in the state of Tennessee, we have not seen the full details of Governor Lee's school voucher program, at least not yet. But we are learning more from 2 amendments filed in the state Senate. Now, the majority leader, Jack Johnson of Franklin, has an amendment that would cap vouchers at $20,000 per student in the first year. The cap overall spending is at $140 million. Senator John Lumberg of Bristol, Tennessee, wants to require yearly students to testify for qualifying. They want them to test to qualify for these particular vouchers. Not everyone in the governor's party is sold on the issue of school choice. Those who represent rural areas argue that vouchers could hurt some of the schools in their district that are underfunded. Well, coming up, a man is behind bars in a crash that killed a woman in Nashville just last month and hurt 2 other people. Plus, joining the ranks of Metro Nashville Police
themselves.
Spotlight on America investigates foreign products, failed inspections.
Thursday on Fox 17 News at 9.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. In Operation Crime and Justice, Metro Police have now arrested a man for a crash that killed a woman last month in Nashville. Police say that it was 24-year-old Adrian Edwin who admitted to drinking before that head-on crash into another car. Christian Holt died at that scene. 2 other people were hurt in that crash as well, including a toddler in the back seat of one of the cars. Edwin is now facing charges of vehicular homicide and assault. In your community this morning, new officers will be working to keep the streets of Nashville safe and sound. Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell, along with the police chief John Drake, hosted the graduation ceremony for 5 officers last night. Those graduates are law enforcement professionals from other police departments who decided to transfer to Nashville.
4:10 is your time, and the weather is a big story here. It's not going to be a high impact, but definitely the most active day we've seen so far this week. So planning today, much warmer for your morning. When you step outside, you're stepping out to 50s this morning, about 20 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. Mainly dry for the morning hours, fairly cloudy though. The afternoon, rain chances increase. Light rainfall in pockets move through the area starting right around noon. So when it comes to getting out the door and getting on the road, kind of a yellow light thing going on here. Take a little extra time, give a little extra space this afternoon, and then after around 5 or 6, thunderstorm activity is possible. Taking a look at that timing, most of our heavier rainfall between 6 p.m. and 10 o'clock across most of Middle Tennessee. So we've slowed down the rain timing from yesterday. Here's that morning cloud cover, keeping the rain off to the west through 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Now late morning, we'll start seeing our first sprinkles and light showers. 1 p.m. starting to pull a little more toward the east. Then we get to 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. We start seeing the yellows and the oranges. Weak thunderstorms can't be ruled out. This is when the heaviest rainfall moves through between 6 and midnight. Out of here by tomorrow morning, a little bit cooler tomorrow after a high of 63 degrees today. We'll talk about a change to your weekend coming up in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a look here at what we're dealing with on your traffic front. This is going to be I-40 near Dallas and Pike. As you can see, traffic there moving along without issue. We're actually doing really well. Great start for your traffic out here for this particular Thursday morning. We're also following other things across town. This is going to be I-65 and I-24 as you make that drive north of town. As you can see, traffic there moving along very nicely. We'll keep you up to date with anything going on. Steer clear traffic. We got you covered live and local through 9. Well, coming up, family members of hostages taken by Hamas visited Nashville, sharing their terrifying stories and hopes that their families can be helped as well. Plus, a live look this morning over First Horizon Park that is currently the home of the Nashville Sounds. Nashville's minor league
isn't helping you with your car. How do you think they're going to deal with you about your injuries? We can help. Call us at 615-242-9000.
.414 is the time. Live look there over downtown Nashville, the capital city of the state of Tennessee. Nice start so far for this morning. A little cool outside, but it is February after all. We do have some rain on the way as well. Greg Bobus will give you the details on what time the rain could arrive coming up here in the next few minutes. Well, terrifying stories from Israeli families visiting Nashville, speaking yesterday on behalf of relatives who have been held hostage by Hamas for the past 4 months. We are hearing from some of those folks, including Moshe Levy. He was born in Israel and now lives in New York. His life was upended on October the 7th when his family members were killed in the Hamas attacks, and his brother-in-law was taken hostage. He is now traveling across the United States to raise awareness.
My niece Roni was still sleeping in the safe room with guns pointed at her face. Imagine that, someone waking up your baby daughter with guns pointed at her face.
Now, he also says he wants to see city, state, and national leaders unite to help release those hostages. Moving on to Operation Crime and Justice this morning, as the Franklin Police Department needs your help finding 2 people accused of stealing credit cards. Police say that the man and the woman that you see right here, there's the man, you're going to see the woman here in a few moments, was seen in the security pictures. They claim that they stole a wallet and a credit card, and then they used those wallets and credit cards to purchase nearly $3,000 worth of gift cards at a Sam's Club. They could be driving a late model blue Nissan Altima, a lot like this one. If you've seen it, you're asked to call Franklin Police. National news this morning, we continue to watch the damage from California. That is where mudslides near Malibu have forced the closure of the famous Pacific Coast highways in both directions. Rock falls, mudslides, debris from the hillside, all thrown across the lanes there of the Pacific Coast Highway. The rain has been drenching California for days, but it's starting to dry out just a little bit. The National Weather Service in Los Angeles says February of 2024 has been the area's wettest month in 26 years. They've had over a foot of rainfall. Greg Bobus is here with us now, telling us about the forecast here in our local area, which does include some rain for us.
It does include some rain. Rain timing for today's changed a little bit, which might be good for some folks.
Okay.
But also later in the day, it might not be great. Kind of depends when you're going to be out and about. And Justin, I'm throwing you for a 4:17 in the morning curveball. Okay. I'm putting the word snow in the forecast for the weekend. Why? Because I have to. Because it's possible. But take a look here. I'm going to break down when it is. No impact whatsoever. But overnight, Friday night into Saturday is what we get when this weather system completely moves out. There's a chance we could see a few snowflakes after midnight in the Cumberland Plateau area. So a slick spot or two as you wake up very early on Saturday. That's it. Nothing is going to really stick. We've been way too warm. The ground is way too warm. Here's today. I'll break it down for you again. And this is what the rainfall timing I mentioned is as far as the change. Rain this morning, far less likely. Rain late morning into early afternoon, very light in little pockets. Not everyone gets rain the entire afternoon. It will come in these little batches. This is where everything sets up and gets a little later. Initially, even 24 hours ago, the heavier rainfall that you see right here in southern Kentucky likely was going to already be through the Nashville area. Now we're holding it back another 3 hours or so. This is 9 p.m., 9 o'clock going into midnight. Everything out of here, no severe weather, maybe a rumble or two of some thunder. Here's where we go into Saturday morning. Here's midnight, Friday into Saturday. A few specks of some blue through southern Kentucky and out toward the plateau. That is it. Nashville, you're not going to see anything. Don't worry about it. But if you see a few flakes, if you're up late, your eyes are not deceiving you.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening out there on I-65 at Armory Drive. You can see the traffic there for yourself near 100 Oaks. We're moving along without issue, doing very, very nicely over there. Of course, if something does pop up, we'll be sure to let you know. We got you covered. Steer clear traffic live and local with you through 9 o'clock this morning. Let's go to sports news. ESPN is now reporting that Nashville is one of the top contenders for a Major League Baseball expansion team. Insiders say pro sports at all there in Austin. Now, one of the biggest obstacles in bringing a Major League Baseball to town is exactly where will the new stadium go? Who's going to pay for it? There's been a lot of talk about that the stadium could go in certain areas like here, right here at Tennessee State University, right on the other side of campus there. So that is one option. Another option out there being reported by ESPN would be over close to Nissan Stadium on the other side, right over here where they're about to build that brand new dome stadium as well. So we're not sure exactly where that would go, but possibly a site in that particular neighborhood. We wanted to know what you thought about it, though. Do you think that the public should chip in money to get a brand new Major League Baseball stadium for Nashville? You can see the results right there with close to 1,500 of you responding. 61% of you say no. Another 39% of you say yes. If you would like to scan that QR code, you can chime in for yourself. You can also join us over on our X page, formerly known as Twitter. You can find us at our handle, that is Fox Nashville. Well, coming up, basketball fans are in for a treat. And it's because of a very busy weekend coming up here in Nashville. It's called March Madness. We're going to tell you about the SEC tournament that's coming back to Nashville. And as grocery prices skyrocket across the nation.
Woo, it feels good. It's the best time in daytime.
Everything is gold.
Sherry, weekdays at 10 on Fox 17.
4:23 is the time. We are following some breaking news this morning as we're talking about an outage involving AT&T. We understand that a number of AT&T services, including internet service and cell phone services, is not working this morning. Several of our own staff members here at Fox 17 have reported that their own phones are not working. We're seeing a lot of reports about that as well. We're continuing to gather more information about that throughout the morning, and we'll be sure to share it with you as soon as we learn about why this outage is happening and how long it could last. New details this morning about March Madness that will be coming to downtown Nashville in a whole new way. That is because Bridgestone Arena will be hosting the Southeastern Conference basketball tournament here. Now, play lasts from March the 13th through the 17th, and the top 14 teams in the conference, so yes, all 14 of them are set to take part. Plus, the SEC is hosting a party at the Music City Walk of Fame Park coming up on the 15th and 16th for fans to come and watch some of those games together. So more details on that will be coming soon, as I know the SEC likes to have a good time here in Nashville. Well, Nashville's SC is out in the Caribbean today, but not to worry. They're not on vacation. They're getting ready to play in the CONCACAF Championships in round one in that big matchup out there. Now their game is set to happen against the Dominican Republic. That is tonight. Those who qualified for the Cup in 2023 in Nashville as well, or that team did. So Nashville SC is having their first time competing for this particular Champions Cup. So good luck to the guys down there in the Dominican Republic taking on their upcoming season. Well, it's been 30 years since the cost of food ate up this much of your income. And 2 Tennessee legislators want to do something about that. Now, American consumers are now spending 11.3% of their disposable income on food. This is according to the latest numbers from the USDA and that data that they have available. This kind of inflation, some would call it, hasn't happened since George H.W. Bush was in office. Now, economists believe that food prices are not likely to stabilize anytime soon. And that is why they're trying to make some moves at the State House. State Senator Charlene Oliver and Representative Afton Bain have introduced bills in the Tennessee General Assembly. Their proposal would eliminate Tennessee's grocery tax for good, lifting that burden for millions of Tennesseans. Now, to make up for the state's financial loss because of the elimination of the tax, the bills would expand and modify taxes on local businesses. We'll see how far it gets.
Here we are, 4:26, getting our way into the weekend. Today, a few rain showers settle in after afternoon through lunchtime, and then some thunderstorms can't be ruled out from 6 p.m. through midnight. But the weekend itself, much cooler for both of the mornings, middle 30s. Saturday, light rain/snow. We're talking overnight Friday night into Saturday. Do not let those words scare you. This is not an impact situation. This happens after you go to bed most likely and is done before you wake up. Nothing sticking. The only chance we have for some flurries that may give you a slick spot is going to be out toward the Cumberland Plateau, those upper elevations that typically see the flakes flying if any of us get them. Taking a look, showers and storms for today, 68 degrees. Tomorrow, 59 degrees, 53 on Saturday, 68 on Sunday. So we're talking about a bit of a cooling trend before we get nice and warm Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday. We are keeping our eyes on the next weather maker after today. Today, no severe weather, but Tuesday into Wednesday of next week, we could be talking about stronger thunderstorms.
Stay clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening here on I-24. This is at Hickory Hollow Parkway as you make that drive into town from the south and east part of town near the Antioch area. Traffic out there moving along just fine. No big problems in either direction out there this morning. Overall drive times looking fantastic. Mount Juliet into downtown at 27 minutes. Murfreesboro into Nashville at 50 minutes. Franklin into Nashville at 26 minutes. We'll continue to watch things for you. Well, coming up, Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell seeing some success with his spending plan as it has made its way through Metro Council. The priorities for over $500 million in funding.
Your window treatment should be as inspiring as your home and the remarkable routine of your daily life. 3-day blinds.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, physicians' assistants rallied on Capitol Hill yesterday. They're asking for changes so they can do a little bit more as far as care for patients. We're going to tell you why.
Waking up this morning, we're dry for the time being, but rain returns later today and really picks up into the evening when you can expect the first collapse of some potential thunder in your forecast.
And Steer Clear traffic takes us out to Smyrna this morning. That's I-24 near Sam Ridley Parkway. No problems out there, but we're going to tell you where problems could get started coming up here a little bit later. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning. I am Justin McFarland here on this Thursday morning. Thrilled to be here with you. We're going to get started with Senator Bill Hagerty, as well as several other Tennessee elected officials, along with law enforcement. They have all joined together to make a visit down to the southern border. They're talking about a discussion on immigration reform. They spoke just yesterday, and Senator Hagerty outlined several issues when it comes to migrants crossing the border. Let's get out to Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar, who's live downtown to tell us what some of those concerns are.
Good morning, Justin. Well, Senator Bill Hagerty and elected officials gathered here yesterday at the federal courthouse on Church Street to address the media. Senator Bill Hagerty is claiming that migrants crossing the southern border are bringing drugs and crime into this country. He says he spoke to a rancher who says that migrants that charge their phones at the border are using these phones to communicate with coyotes and cartels. Now, we haven't confirmed that claim yet, but Hagerty is pushing the agenda that there needs to be tighter border security. Senator Hagerty calls the migrants bad people, and he also says that they are allegedly going to end up on terrorist watch lists. We've seen hundreds of thousands of migrants crossing the border, including in Texas. At the press conference, Hagerty says since Texas has cracked down on illegal immigration, it's not quite the same, but migrants are still pouring in. We've seen migrants crossing the San Diego border as well. Hagerty says what's happening at the border is affecting every state, including here in Tennessee.
You think about the fentanyl overdoses, the increase in crime, the taxing that it's put on our schools, our hospitals, our law enforcement agencies. We're feeling it right here in Tennessee, and has been said so often, every state is a border state.
But not everyone agrees with Senator Hagerty. Not too long ago, we spoke with Turk, who says that new arrivals that are coming here to Tennessee and are crossing the border are harmless and that they're just coming here for a better life. Reporting live in downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
4:33 is the time. Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell is thanking the Metro Council for approving his very first capital spending plan. Now, the council unanimously approved $514 million worth of spending. It does include money for schools, transportation, as well as infrastructure. WeGo, public transit service, as well as maintenance in public parks and even libraries. Now, Mayor O'Connell says his plan was created with fiscal responsibility at its core. More than 300 physicians' assistants from across the state were at Capitol Hill yesterday. They're trying to support a bill to make health care more accessible. Now, the bill they're pushing would get rid of what they call unnecessary obstacles that stand in the way of patients who need help. Tennessee is battling a shortage of healthcare workers, and one of the measures they want would allow physicians' assistants to practice medicine to the full extent of their training and education. Supporters say it would be a win-win. We'll see what lawmakers have to say. Let's get to Greg for right now. Look at your forecast.
Taking a look here at the big three things this morning, waking up to on a Thursday. And we know that we have a cloudy start to the day. We've been talking about it all week long. The change, though, is that we have a slight change to rainfall timing today. Initially, it looked like the morning would give us a couple little pop-up showers. Now that's been pushed back to the afternoon, and our storm timing has changed from afternoon into the evening and first half of tonight. Still no severe weather. Wind takes over later today, though. Even if you're not getting rain, you're going to have the cloud cover, and you're going to have the wind gusts up near 35 miles per hour. Look at the temperature change from 24 hours ago. We are 23 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday in Nashville, 27 degrees warmer in Lebanon. That puts us in the 50s. Warmest start of the week by far. We'll end up in the low 60s early afternoon, and then as the clouds continue to take over and the rain begins to come down, that'll be the warmest time of the day, right around lunchtime. I mentioned the wind. That will also be when it's at the most windy. So the rain starts to move in. We have our warmest temperature and our strongest wind right in the middle of the day. Our strongest chance for thunderstorms, though, is going to be 6 p.m. to midnight. That's when things are going to move in. Again, no severe weather. We'll take a look at future track and then some weekend changes. Yes, it says flurries, question mark, for Saturday. I'll deep dive into that a little bit more in a few, Justin.
All right, Greg, thank you. Flurries. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with on I-24 San Bernardino Parkway right now. Traffic out there moving along without issue. We're doing fine. North, south, east, and west so far across the state of Tennessee when it comes to your traffic. Nothing major getting in your way. Same goes for the west side of town. This is going to be I-40, 46th Avenue through the Nations. Also looking good. We're going to let you know that traffic can back up, especially going into our 5 o'clock hour on the north side of town as well as on I-24. But right now, we're doing okay. Operation Crime and Justice, a Nashville woman who is a survivor of domestic violence, takes every step possible to protect herself from an accused abuser. Now, despite this, she ended up murdered the same day her ex-husband got out of jail. We're talking about Michelle Carter, who called police after getting threats. But right after a Metro police officer left her house, Carter lost her life in the city of Nashville settled with her family in a lawsuit, but her family says the money is simply not enough.
We need every officer to respond to every domestic violence call with compassion, with empathy, and with intention.
Now, the changes they want to see and what happened to that officer, that's all coming up tonight on Fox 17 News at 9. Well, coming up, a trial begins in the case of a woman shot and killed on a movie set. We're going to tell you more about that. Plus, the United States has put
with 27 competitors.
This is the biggest tournament of champions ever.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
.39 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. That's a live look over downtown Nashville. That building over there to the right is the Batman building in downtown Nashville. The actual name is the AT&T building here in Nashville, and AT&T is at the center of a big story this morning we're following. AT&T has a nationwide outage that has hit lots and lots of customers in major cities. Many people are saying their phones are on SOS mode and cannot receive calls. Metro Dispatch is telling Fox 17 that possible people with AT&T may not be able to make a call at this point, but they don't know exactly for sure if that is the case or not. They don't even know if they can make emergency calls. We know that internet and phone services is out for people with AT&T in many cases. We're going to tell you more about this as we follow it throughout the morning. A jury has been seated in the trial of Rust. We're talking about that is a movie this morning and the death of one of the actors there on the set. This is more than 2 years after there was an accident on the set that resulted with one person being shot. Now, opening statements are expected today, as we are expected to hear from both the cinematographer as well as actor Alec Baldwin, who are facing the charge of involuntary manslaughter. Now, both people have pled not guilty as they are trying to figure out exactly how that live round got loaded into a Colt 45 revolver there. Baldwin was handed that gun. Baldwin claims he cocked the gun but never pulled the trigger. His trial date has not yet been set. The United States is imposing more sanctions on Russia as its invasion of Ukraine does continue. Now, the State Department is aiming these sanctions against Vladimir Putin's power structure. The United States is going after more individuals, including Belarus and their leadership, along with the wife and senior military members and defense ministers of that country, for their connections to human rights abuses. This comes as Russia imposes sanctions on the top American leaders all the way up to the president. Let's get to Greg. Look at the forecast.
Time now, 4:42. Quick look at your forecast here. We're all clear for Code Red, but today's the day when rain does return to Middle Tennessee. Bus stop, don't need the umbrella for the morning. Pack it. Afternoon, when the buses come back and drop the kids off, yeah, we're going to have rain coming down at that point for many of us. 50s this morning, very warm. We don't need the winter coats this time. Taking a look, we kind of dialed back on the rain for the morning hours. Still fairly cloudy and fairly breezy. Wind gusts up near 35 miles per hour. Getting into the afternoon. Light patches of rain here. Not raining the entire afternoon, but definitely a few lighter showers here and there that'll pop up and die down. It is 6 p.m. all the way through midnight when our chance for rain really does pick up. We'll talk more about that in about 5 minutes.
Clear traffic for you this morning. Let's take a look here at I-24 San Bradley Parkway. As you can see, traffic there in that area moving along there. No big problems as of yet, but things will slow down as the morning goes on. We've got you covered. Clear traffic live and local through 9. Well, coming up, Boeing has ousted the man running the 737 MAX program. This is after a series of high-profile problems. We're going to tell you what the company has to say about the major shakeup. Plus, there was a truck hit by a train. It's just inches from a major disaster. You're going to watch the major shakeup for yourself. Wow, look at that video. You'll be able to see it again.
Are also common. Side effects may not appear for several weeks.
I didn't have to change my treatment. I just gave it a lift.
Ask about Vraylar and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
4:45 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. We continue to follow the breaking news that's affecting us right here in Nashville and across the country. If you're an AT&T customer, you may be out of service right now. That is because there is a nationwide service outage that is happening as customers are taking to social media to talk about exactly why they cannot receive calls or make calls. Some say the phone data is showing up as SOS, and they're having to rely on Wi-Fi. They can get that in order to do anything. The outage reports are coming from major cities, including us here in Nashville, but not only us. It's Los Angeles, Chicago, San Diego, Dallas, and Houston. Metro Nashville dispatchers tell us that this outage is not impacting them at this particular moment. So we're asking some of you out there, are you having issues with AT&T? And what's going on with your particular service? And we are seeing some of those comments online on our Fox Nashville Facebook page. I'm not sure if we can stop in on some of them. Some say yes, they're seeing the problems. Lori there says yes in SOS mode. Other people there are responding where they have other services, so they're not seeing calls. Another person says yes, will not let me send messages or make phone calls. You know, it's an impact that we're seeing here for sure across Metro Nashville. We'll continue to follow it, let you know when the outage is over or when we get word from AT&T about what the problem is and how long they expect it to hang out. Well, Boeing says the head of its 737 MAX program is now leaving the company. In an email to employees, Boeing announced that Ed Clark is being replaced effective immediately. Boeing has been under scrutiny after multiple safety incidents. Last month, a door plug from the 737 MAX 9 blew off during the Alaska Airlines flight. Now, top executives called the shakeup in leadership part of the company's, quote, enhanced focus on quality and safety requirements. An Amazon delivery driver was just inches away from disaster after his truck was cut in half by an oncoming Amtrak train. If you're away from your televisions, turn around and take a look. Wow, you see it right there. This incident actually occurred several years ago, back in November of 2021, but we're just now getting the video. That is when this delivery truck driver, Alexander Evans, was crossing that train track in Wisconsin. Evans is deaf in his left ear and did not hear the train horn. There were no warning lights or crossing signals there. The train collided with him, taking off half of the truck back behind him. As you can see, Evans walked away, literally, probably out of the backside of the truck because there is no more truck. He was able to walk away with only minor injuries. I don't know if we can see it again right there. Whew. But you have a new outlook on life after an experience like that. Look at him just shaking his head. Let's get to Greg Bobus. Greg, unreal video there.
Oh, unreal. And then the fact that he still was in the seat and there's no seat behind him.
Yeah. No truck, no seat, there's no truck, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
The whole thing blown away. Just absolutely incredible.
Whew. That's why you look both ways even if there's no crossing signal. Just be safe if you can. I guess that's, you know, evidence right there. Taking a look here, Justin, we've got a few new things in the forecast. I'm going to break down for everyone at home waking up here on a Thursday morning, nice and early, mainly dry and cloudy this morning. It looked like rain chances could be there, little light pockets of just a little drizzle. That's likely not the case this time. Now we're pushing the rain timing back into the afternoon, evening, and first half of tonight. Between 6 p.m. and midnight, a few storms are possible, non-severe, but could get a decent lightning show in a few spots since they'll be coming on to the radar after we get past sunset. Taking a look at rain chances, they go up throughout the afternoon, they go down after midnight. So that is good for the morning drive today. It's also good for the morning drive tomorrow. No active rain. Why am I showing you a snow graphic? It's possible for a few of us to see a few flakes, mainly in the Cumberland Plateau, Friday night into early Saturday morning. We're thinking about midnight to 3 a.m. The rest of us don't see much of anything but a slick spot or two with no accumulation. But if you hear people talking about snow, you've seen it blowing up on social media, no impacts, do not worry about it. This is our morning. Relatively dry, like I mentioned. This is the afternoon, 1 p.m. getting us through 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Main band pushes through 6 to midnight, and then we're done for the rest of tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, though, a little bit on the cooler side. We'll look at your 7-day forecast and plan out your weekend for you, including that snow, coming up in about 5 minutes.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a good look at what we're dealing with outside. This is going to be I-40 at Church Street. As you make that drive there this morning, you can see traffic moving along without issue there on the West Loop. No big problems so far for you out there this morning. Things will change. As more and more cars get on the road, there will be accidents, there will be slowdowns. We've got you covered live and local through 9. Right now, the story behind the disappearing street lights at an outdoor furniture store there in Clarksville, or outdoor furniture that's disappearing. It turns out it's not thieves. Instead, it's the city street department sending the pieces off to a company in Lebanon for brand new powdered coating. Now, the benches, trash cans, and light poles are all being recovered in a satin black finish. This is a $1.5 million maintenance project that's expected to take at least 6 months. The Mega Millions jackpot has now passed $500 million for the first time in about a year. The next drawing is set to run quite a bit. The drawing will be happening tomorrow. It's an estimated $525 million payoff. That's a very nice prize for the investment of a ticket that only cost around $2. Now, the Mega Millions holds the distinction of being the only lottery game to have awarded 5 different jackpots worth more than $1 billion. We'll see if this jackpot continues to grow or if somebody gets the lucky numbers. But coming up, a very unique rescue as a horse was able to escape a sinkhole safely. We're going to tell you how firefighters were able to make it happen.
Dining with a view. Your window treatment should be as inspiring as your home and the remarkable routine of your daily life. 3-day blinds.
.54 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. A live look there in downtown Nashville. That is one of the many honky tonks that is under construction. Who knows what they're building there this time? We do know it's probably going to have a rooftop bar because, well, everything has a rooftop bar these days in Nashville. I think it's a city ordinance, even though that's probably not true. We'll continue to follow things for you with Steer Clear traffic, with your code red weather, as well as with the ongoing construction happening across Music City. Everything's changing all the time. The Los Angeles Fire Department rescued a horse that was stuck in a sinkhole. Now, this was a 1,200-pound horse. It has an appropriate name, Lucky. It was hoisted out of the ground yesterday. The owner says it got stuck in an apparent sinkhole believed to have been started from that wet weather that they have been receiving out there in Los Angeles. It was a 3-hour ordeal just trying to get the horse out of the hole safely. Thankfully, though, lucky, very lucky to be okay. Let's get to Greg.
That Lucky is lucky, and he's lucky that they had enough horsepower to get him out of that sinkhole, too. Taking a look, 4:56 your time. This is the change to your weekend I mentioned, and please, please, please listen to the words carefully and don't let them scare you. We have a chance to see a few snowflakes Friday night into Saturday morning in one portion of southern Kentucky and the Cumberland Plateau. Here it is, 4 a.m. going into Saturday. Clips through very quickly. Nothing sticks. You just might see a few light flurries. That is the only change to our weekend. Everything else manageable. We're just going to be a little bit cooler for Friday and Saturday. Aside from that, here we go. Chance for some snow flakes. They'll be done by the time most of us are waking up, and those of us who do see them, it will not be an impact. If you're asleep that whole time, you may not even know what ever happened. 68 degrees today, 59 tomorrow, 53 degrees on Saturday. We've cooled it down to 30s for Friday night and Saturday night. And today's rain timing, it has changed. I'll have a brand new look at the timeline for you, why one half of the day looks much better and the other half not so good. We'll take a look at everything for you as we go into that 5 o'clock half hour.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 4:57. Let's give a look here at I-40 at Spence Lanes. You make that drive out there on the east side of town. Traffic doing okay, making that drive in from places like Hermitage and Donaldson, Antioch, all points to the east. We're doing okay. We're going to be checking in on other parts of town, but your drive times are on the green, at least for now. Things can and will change, and we got you covered. Steer clear traffic live and local with you through 9. New research shows that menthol cigarette bans may actually work when it comes to getting folks to quit smoking. Now, these findings referenced a study that was published through the November 2022 journal out there, which examined the effects of the ban in more than 170 U.S. cities and several countries as well. It showed about a quarter of menthol smokers quit within a year or two when the substance was banned from cigarettes. Now, the research also found for those who did not quit after the bans were put into place, about half switched to non-menthol cigarettes. The tobacco industry has argued that a nationwide ban would make it dangerous for menthol smokers, but researchers have a different claim. Meanwhile, the United States Food and Drug Administration says that the menthol ban is a top priority, and they have urged the Biden administration to make a decision. Have you ever wondered how the civil rights icon Rosa Parks liked her pancakes? I know I have never worried about this, but apparently the Library of Congress has an answer for you and a recipe. The Library of Congress has released the Rosa Parks Feather Light Pancake recipe. Not only is this recipe a little bit unusual because it calls for peanut butter, but it's also written on the back of an envelope by Rosa Parks herself. It was gifted to the Library of Congress back in 2016. This is all part of the Rosa Parks collection. Now you can see the civil rights legacy of Rosa Parks, of course known for the Montgomery bus boycott back in the 1950s, but also because of her skill using this particular recipe. Very interesting. There's your Black History Month moment there. An 8-year-old just shattered a world chess record. We're talking about this kid right here. His name is Ashwat. He is from Singapore, and he became there to defeat a grandmaster in a classical tournament game. He beat his 37-year-old opponent at a tournament in Switzerland this weekend. Now, born in India back in 2015, Ashwat has won a number of youth tournaments around the world, I should say so. Congratulations to this kid and the big record that he's been able to set. Who knows? Could be looking at the next grandmaster.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning, 5 o'clock right now on Fox 17 News This Morning. A Tennessee representative in the hot seat, Andy Ogles, setting the record straight on his comments about Hamas.
AT&T customers across the country appear to be experiencing outages. Coming up, I'll have the details. And school choice in Tennessee. We're going to talk about how Governor Bill Lee's voucher proposal could work. We do want to start, though, by thanking you for waking up with us here bright and early on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Let's get straight to the breaking news this hour as we continue to follow what's going on with AT&T. Have you noticed this morning that your phone is in SOS mode? We have people across the country and right here in the mid-state reporting their AT&T wireless service is down.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live from outside of an AT&T store in downtown Nashville with more on what we're seeing. Karen, what can you share with us? Good morning, Jen and Erica. Well, our own photojournalist, Kevin Mumphrey, has reported a loss of service to his AT&T phone. He says around 2:30 a.m. he noticed that it wasn't working, and it's hard to see, but it says SOS. Now, he's not alone. More than 30,000 people across the country who use AT&T have reported outages. That's according to downdetector.com. We're also seeing hundreds of people online reporting problems. 911 communications were affected by the 2020 Christmas bombing that knocked out AT&T services across the region, impacting dispatch services. However, luckily, we reached out to the Metro Nashville dispatch, and they are saying that they're not seeing any direct impact on their systems at this time. AT&T has not yet released a statement. If they do, we'll let you know what that is. Reporting live in downtown Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you so much. We're also asking y'all this morning, are you having service issues with AT&T? Right now, we're seeing a couple of comments, but not a lot. You know, folks are just waking up and figuring out what's going on here.
Right. So if you want to sound off, let us know. Obviously, for folks who don't have service right now, they can't do this from their cell phone. But something definitely worth noting, especially if you've been talking to friends or family impacted.
Right now, though, we're going to share some of the top 3 stories that you need to know before heading out the door. Making headlines is a story involving President Joe Biden's brother, who was interviewed by Republicans as part of their impeachment inquiry into the president. The interview lasted a little over 8 hours. Over the next 2 weeks, though, House Republican interviews with James Biden, the brother, and the president's son could determine the fate of their ongoing investigation.
A California woman with dual U.S.-Russian citizenship arrested in Russia, accused of treason. The esthetician and dancer is now facing up to 20 years in a Russian prison. Her employer says she's accused of giving $50 to an American charity that supports Ukraine.
And right here in Middle Tennessee, taking a live look at Gaylord Opryland Resort. That's because former President Donald Trump is headed to Nashville today. So again, we're showing you a live look where he is going to be. He is going to be speaking at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. Fox 17 News going to cover the former president's visit throughout the day, both on air and online.
5:04, waking up to our next weather maker. Slowly approaching, clouds are picking up, but we have really warm temperatures this morning. Right side of your screen, those numbers are not broken. We have 50s to kick off to this morning, about 25 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday. Not bad. Expect the wind to continue increasing. It started yesterday. That will continue to be the trend. The windiest hours of today, late morning into early afternoon. That's also when our rain will begin. Initially, it looked like early morning. We could have a pop-up shower or two. Now it's late morning into early afternoon, which means we've also changed our storm timing. But look at that, 57-degree temperature. And the clouds have started taking over. You'll get a few peaks of sun, but that's pretty much it for the morning hours. And the wind, again, 11 a.m. through around 5 p.m. is the peak of it. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. So a pretty breezy day, and I would say noon all the way through the evening drive may take you a little bit longer to get from point A to point B. We'll look at future track in your 7-day forecast, piece it all together, and snow. I'll leave it at that and let you know what I mean in just a few minutes.
Greg, don't do that. Don't do it. 5:05 is the time. Right now, we want to take a live look at I-40 at Spence Lane to show you that you have no issues. If you're heading out the door and heading to this area, again, I-40 Spence Lane, we are giving you the green light. We'll continue tracking all of your traffic throughout 9 a.m.
And continuing coverage this morning of school choice here in Tennessee. Now, we have not seen all the details of Governor Bill Lee's voucher program, but we are learning more from 2 amendments just filed in our state Senate that would describe more in depth how this could work.
Well, Majority Leader Jack Johnson of Franklin's amendment, says the amendment would cap vouchers at $20,000 per student the first year. It does cap overall spending at $140 million. And not everyone in the governor's party is sold on school choice.
Yeah, those who represent rural areas, for example, argue that vouchers could really hurt some of their rural underfunded schools. Switching gears now this morning, 5th District Congressman Andy Ogles is in hot water over a video that is making the rounds online. Pro-Palestinian activist asked him last week about children killed in the Gaza Strip. Well, Ogles said, in part, I think we should kill them all if that makes you feel better. Everybody in Hamas. Those words, Ogles argues, were taken out of context in his entire statement.
Correct. So now he's clarifying this. His office releasing this statement on your screen in an attempt to go ahead and clear the air. It says in part, these terrorists deserve to die. I was clearly referencing Hamas terrorists during this exchange. If you want to read more from the statement, though, you can go to fox17.com.
We have a man behind bars this morning after a crash that killed a woman and hurt 2 other people. We'll get you updated in Crime and Justice.
And you can help Clarksville police find the people they...
At Electronic Express.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News. This morning, 5:09. Right now, I'm waking up to breaking news impacting us here at home and across the nation. There is a widespread AT&T outage right now. Now, we are working to get some updates from AT&T specifically. They have yet to release anything through their website or their Twitter account, which tends to be a primary mode of communication for big companies like that. They haven't said anything yet about this outage. We do understand that even our own co-workers here at Fox 17 this morning are experiencing this. So it looks like you should be able to make an SOS call in the event of an emergency, but a lot of people have reported not being able to do anything else.
Right now in Operation Crime and Justice, another story we're following here on this Thursday morning involves Metro Police arresting a man for a crash that killed a woman last month in Nashville. Police say 24-year-old Adrian Ewan admitted to drinking before crashing his car head-on into another. Christian Holt ultimately died and 2 other people were injured. Ewan, the man on your screen, now faces charges of vehicular homicide and assaults. Well, Clarksville police, they say they need your help finding 3 people wanted in connection with a van burglary that happened last month. The suspects right here were caught on security video, so you're seeing a clear shot of them. Police say they were in a white Dodge Durango and stole tools from a work van near Windmere Drive. Now, if you can help, you might be eligible for a cash reward, and you could also leave an anonymous tip.
5:11 is the time right now. Greg's talking about a new possibility for some snow and maybe some storms as we get into the weekend. So, boy, things changed in 24 hours.
They did in a couple of ways. None of them are bad or high impact, but a lot to get to, a little bit of time. Let's dive right in. Rain timing for us now. First, light rain showers late morning into early afternoon. The more organized rain settles in late afternoon toward the evening and first half of tonight. I believe 6 p.m. to midnight, the best chance for some heavier rainfall and maybe a clap or 2 of thunder. Still no severe weather. Any chance for snow this weekend, over the weekend? Meh to possible. What I mean by that is cold air moves in Friday night into Saturday, and there could be some flurries on the Cumberland Plateau. Maybe a slick spot or 2 to wake up to on Friday, but that's pretty much it. Here's your morning, and here's some cloud cover. Taking a look, getting late morning hours, we will see some showers move in, light green, light rain. We continue to move through, and this is when we get to 6 p.m., 9 o'clock, and then also midnight. That's when we're going to be done with all of this, and we'll talk a little bit more about that snow coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Your clear traffic looking pretty good here this morning. No major issues to report. The primary loop around downtown Nashville looking good. All of our interstates coming in and out from all of our bedroom communities looking good. Seeing a little bit of an uptick, though, in volume right now along I-40 at Spence. We'll check in again on Steer Clear Traffic in just a few minutes.
5:12 is the time, and right now we're talking about the families of hostages who are now speaking out, asking folks here in the U.S. to get involved and help.
And a live look right now over at First Horizon Ballpark.
With slow-release carbs and provide steady morning energy to help you rise and thrive.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection.
At 5:14, Fox 17 News showing you a live look over the Nashville skyline. We want to let you know our breaking news update, okay? The AT&T building is why we are talking about a nationwide outage that has hit customers in major cities here.
Right, so here in Nashville, the Batman building is the AT&T building. And for those of you who might be new to the area, you may not even realize this, but back in 2020, when we had the Christmas Day bombing, took out the transmission building there in downtown Nashville, impacting us at the time in our region. region with no AT&T service. Now here we are 4 years later, and we're trying to get to the bottom as to why we have a nationwide outage right now for not just AT&T, but we've just learned through the website Down Detector, which is a source to track wireless outages. Not just AT&T. Now we're learning Verizon and T-Mobile are impacted. You might be waking up this morning and seeing that your cell phone is in SOS mode. We understand currently that emergency systems are not impacted here in our area, so that's the good news. But we are working to get a comment from AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. Nobody's responding right now.
Yeah, we do have our Fox 17 News reporter Kieran Aguilar on this story, so we're going to have some more updates coming up in a couple of minutes during this newscast. In international headlines, we are hearing from terrifying stories, I should say, from Israeli families visiting Nashville.
Talking on behalf of their relatives who have been held hostage by Hamas for more than 4 months. Moshe Lavi, born in Israel, now lives in New York, but his life was upended October 7th when his family members were killed in the Hamas attack. His brother-in-law taken hostage. Well, now he's traveling across the country and making a stop here in Nashville to raise awareness.
My niece Roni was still sleeping in the safe room with guns pointed at her face. Imagine that, someone waking up your baby daughter with guns pointed at her face.
Lavi said that he wants to see city, state, and national leaders unite to help fight to release these hostages.
Taking a look at some national headlines, we go to California, where mudslides in Malibu have forced the closure of the PCH, that's the Pacific Coast Highway. Both directions, by the way, up and down the coast. The mudslides, the rock slides, debris all over the road there. Look at this. One of the most scenic drives in the country. Up and down the PCH there. The rain that we've been reporting on for days now has just drenched so much of California. Starting to dry out now, but again, look at the damage already done.
Wow, the National Weather Service says in Los Angeles, February of this year, of course, has been the wettest in 26 years. Goodness gracious, seeing that video is just hard to see. We do want to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist, because if you're just now waking up and you're looking at our forecast, the Saturday update really surprised me. I mean, snow? What?
And it's one of those things where snow can be a trigger word, and you automatically think really, really bad things when you didn't know it was coming more than 48 hours out. And that's not the case this time around. We're talking about maybe a flurry or two on the plateau. Get it in, get it out, doesn't stick. Here it is. Here's the update on future tracks. Starting this right now, midnight. This is Friday night into Saturday morning. So this is not attached to what we're seeing happen today. Today, all rain, way too warm, no problems. Midnight takes us to 3 a.m., 4 a.m. going into Saturday. And you can see portions of southern Kentucky, a couple of flurries are possible, and then out toward the plateau, an even better chance because temps will be a little bit colder. That's it. And then we're done. By 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, you're back to some sunshine, especially if you go west of I-65. Nothing happens the rest of the day, but a little bit cooler. We'll be in the 60s later today, and then we'll only be in the 50s the next 2 days after. So this is the only area where you could see a flake flying, much less flurries. Flurry best chance going to be what we just showed you. Southern Kentucky through the Cumberland Plateau. So do not let this one scare you. And if you see anything on social media and you don't read all the fine print and context, it might catch you off guard or make you have a cause for concern. I'm not worried at all about it. 57 degrees, your temperature right now. 57 right now. We are very warm. We're on our way, like I mentioned, to 64. We'll get there right in the middle of the afternoon, 64, 66 degrees. And rain begins to move in this afternoon, and the wind picks up. That'll be our focus in the next check of your forecast.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening out there on I-40 near White Bridge Road. Lots of trucks taking a bit of a break there on the shoulder of the road out there so far this morning. So heads up, if you're headed over to the west side of town, you can see the long line of trucks over there taking a little bit of a break. But other than that, you are good to go as you get out there this morning. Your drive times look like this. 27 minutes in from Hendersonville, only 50 minutes in from Murfreesboro, at least for now.
Justin, thank you. Sports headlines here on your Thursday morning. A new ESPN report listing Nashville as a top contender for a Major League Baseball expansion team. Insiders say Nashville's current pro teams, we've got the Titans and the Predators, help make a strong case for Music City as a sports town. Other cities being considered for expansion include Salt Lake City, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Austin.
All right, so one of the biggest obstacles of bringing a Major League Baseball team to Music City is figuring out where a new stadium would go, right? Well, there has been some talk that the new stadium could go on what is currently part of Tennessee State University, okay, their campus. Another option, though, as reported by ESPN, could land us over here. Big landmark, okay? Across the Cumberland River next to the soon-to-be Nissan Stadium. And we want to know what you think about this. Would you chip in public money to get a major league stadium for Nashville? As of right now, 61% of you all say, no, I would not chip in. You can still sound off by going to our Fox Nashville X account.
5:21 right now. A new overdose drug on the streets that has Metro
sent off in every department. 4K TVs, appliances, computers, and more. Plus, save up to an additional $1,000 on eligible items and get up to 36 months free financing at Electronic Express.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. A live look into downtown Nashville, where much of our region and cities across the country impacted by a current AT&T wireless outage. Now, this outage, which is nationwide, impacting cities like Atlanta, Chicago, Los Angeles, Nashville, looks right now to be just a wireless issue, not a landline service problem.
Yeah, according to downdetector.com, it's not just AT&T, it's also AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon dealing with some of these issues. So we're making those phone calls, trying to get some answers, but just be mindful of that situation. Our Fox 17 News reporter Kieran Aguilar going to have some live updates in the coming minutes.
5:24 is the time. A drug normally used on animals and not approved for human consumption at all is now showing up on the streets of Nashville. The Metro Police top drug officer says the medication xylazine is starting to show up as a cause of death as well as in drug bust. Now, what's worse is you cannot override the effects of xylazine like you with Narcan, the same way you can with other drugs. Now, the drug can leave open sores and even cause the removal of limbs if it doesn't take your life first.
Approximately 80% of the fentanyl that was being tested in our crime lab tested positive for xylazine. Now, with the caveat that the testing amounts that the lab saw at that time were trace amounts. So trace amounts, what that would essentially mean is that the xylazine is present within the drug supply, but not necessarily in quantities enough to have the narcotic effect, the effect of the person getting high from the sedative.
Now, again, the drug is normally used as a sedative for animals. They believe that the xylazine is coming in from places like Mexico and being sold along with fentanyl, as well as being mixed in with things like meth.
5:25 temperature forecast here. A couple little cliff notes to get you through into the the 5:30 half hour is that we're going to have the potential for 70s next week, but a cool down into the weekend first. Cool mornings for sure. Right now, right side of your screen. Ooh, we are lucky for this start of the day. We have 50s to kick off the day, but look at Saturday and Sunday. The morning temperatures, those blue numbers, will be in the 30s. And then Saturday, we're talking really Friday night into early Saturday morning. We just tackled this a few minutes ago. Light rain showers and possibly even a few flurries cannot be ruled out on the radar. Best chance for those flurries going to be out toward the Cumberland Plateau. Nothing sticks, not an impact situation. And in about 5 minutes, we'll look ahead to today's rainfall. I've changed the timing just a little bit. Nothing on the radar right now, though.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's take a quick look here at I-40 at Donaldson Pike. As you make that drive out and about there in the Donaldson area, as you can see, traffic is moving, and the exit there for Nashville International also in good shape for you this morning. Things can and will change, and we'll let you know about those changes coming up here in the next few minutes. But for right now, we are looking clean. 27 minutes in from Hendersonville, 50 minutes in from Murfreesboro. That time will start to rise soon. 26 minutes in from the Franklin, Kentucky area. It should be a little bit more than that, around actually 36 minutes coming in from Franklin, Kentucky into downtown.
These people are bad people. They're going to turn up on terrorist watch lists.
We've got continuing coverage of the crisis at the border. The reaction from Tennessee lawmakers coming up in just a few moments. Plus, the cell phone outage is hitting customers very hard here nationwide, including us here in Nashville.
Ever.
weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Waking up dry, but two big changes in the forecast. One involves timing of today's rain, and the other brings the word snow into a portion of your weekend. That's in your Code Red forecast.
All right, Greg, thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. How connected are you to your cell phone? Are you in panic mode this morning if you're realizing you have no service? That is the feeling for tens of thousands of people, especially with AT&T waking up to find out that a massive cellular outage has hit their AT&T phones. Also, we've learned T-Mobile and Verizon are impacted.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live outside from an AT&T store in downtown Nashville. Karen, what are you seeing? I know it's impacting our own coworkers here.
Yeah, that's right. It's impacting coworkers and people here in downtown Nashville. Just moments ago, an Uber driver that pulled up to this parking lot in front of this AT&T store tells me that he was seeing an outage on his AT&T phone, which is affecting his business. Now, in regards to our photojournalist, Kevin Mumphrey, earlier I showed you his phone. It was saying SOS, but now apparently it has bars. So we're going to find out if that is the same thing that other AT&T users are seeing. Now, as a recap of what we've learned, according to downdetector.com, more than 30,000 people across the country using AT&T were reporting outages starting at around 4 this morning. Down Detector data also shows more than 800 service outages of Verizon and T-Mobile were reported on the platform. Now, luckily, Metro Nashville Dispatch tells us that the outages haven't affected them at this time. We are working to get a statement from AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Reporting live in downtown Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. We've been chatting with y'all over on our Fox Nashville Facebook page just to see if you're impacted by this issue. And so many of you saying yes. Sums Cap said, glad I'm not the only one. I was scared. Gina Bio said, yes, I was in a convenience store earlier and nobody had service. They were Verizon, Cricket, and AT&T users.
So you can go ahead and let us know how you're being impacted by going to our Fox Nashville Facebook page. Also, our X account. Let us know this morning. We're continuing to update and follow this story.
Local headlines now. Former President Donald Trump headed to Nashville today, expected to be at the Gaylord Opryland Resort.
Yeah, so we're showing you a live look of where the former president is going to be speaking. It's happening again here at the Gaylord Opryland Resort. It's part of the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. The presidential forum is kicking off tonight, but we're going to be there throughout today, bringing you the very latest updates, both on air and online.
5:32, let's get right into it. I mentioned two changes in the forecast, one of those being the rain timing today and the other being the possible snow for the weekend. Neither of them are causes for concern, but they're just things to know to help you navigate between now and Sunday. So that small rain timing chance means the rain moves in a little bit later. Your morning drive's going to be dry, but the evening commute, light rainfall going to be coming down for us here, and 6 p.m. until midnight. The chance for some heavier rain and maybe even a few weak thunderstorms. No signs of severe weather. Right now, we are starting off in a beautiful place when it comes to temperatures, 57 degrees, mostly cloudy. That will continue to be the case all day long, even when you're not catching a little bit of light rainfall that will get heavier progressively throughout the day. Your 7-day forecast cools us into the weekend, though. Look at that, 59 degrees on Friday, 53 on Saturday, 68 degrees on Sunday. Nighttime temperatures take a tumble once again Friday night and Saturday night, all the way down to 35.
Steer clear traffic out there this morning. I-65 at Trinity Lane, making that drive coming down from the north side. As you can see there, traffic doing okay from that north side. No big problems so far. We'll let you know if that changes live and local through 9.
Thank you, Justin. 5:34 is the time, and new this morning in the crisis at the border. Senator Bill Hagerty and Other Tennessee elected officials, along with law enforcement, making a visit to the southern border, sparked in part by the discussions on immigration reform.
Senator Hagerty is now outlining some of the issues that he says he saw while visiting there. Hagerty calls the migrants crossing the border, quote, bad people, and says they are going to end up on the terrorist watch list. We have seen hundreds of thousands of migrants, though, crossing the border, including Texas.
Mr. Hagerty says that since Texas has cracked down on illegal immigration, migrants are still pouring in and they're finding ways around the loopholes. He says what's happening at the border is impacting every state, including Tennessee.
You think about the fentanyl overdoses, the increase in crime, the taxing that it's put on our schools, our hospitals, our law enforcement agencies. We're feeling it right here in Tennessee, and has been said so often, every state is a border state.
Senator Bill Hagerty sharing his perspective, but not everyone is in agreement with him. So listen here.
The chaos at the border has much been, I think, perpetrated by the Texas government and Governor Abbott.
Now, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has promised to send more Tennessee National Guard troops to the southern border to help secure the border.
Coming up, Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell's plan is now beginning to go ahead and take shape. We're going to talk about his moving forward plans for Nashville.
And a live look into downtown Nashville right now. Still seeing those reports this morning of folks with AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon with outages.
Shouldn't you go to church more than 3 times? Visit a nearby Christian church this Sunday.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Zander Insurance.
In local government headlines, Mayor Freddie O'Connell is thanking Metro Council for approving his first capital spending plan.
All right, council unanimously approving this $514 million spending plan, including money for schools, transportation infrastructure, WeGo, public transit service, maintenance in and around Nashville, and our parks and libraries.
Yeah, so Mayor O'Connell says his plan was created with fiscal responsibility at its core. We're going to check in now for our next weather maker. Greg, you said don't pack the umbrella for this morning, but this evening.
Exactly, and no winter coat. We're in the 50s right now. It's 57 degrees in Nashville. We're on our way to the low 60s, so we don't get aggressively warmer, but we also don't get cold at any point until well after sunset. Mainly dry and cloudy for the morning. A few storms are possible, non-severe, and those are going to be a little bit later in the day than they looked earlier in the week. So we're talking 6 p.m. to midnight. That's the time frame here, moving in from northwest to southeast. They're not going to last long, but you may hear a rumble or two of some thunder and see some lightning out there. Heavy rainfall timing, though, has been pushed back. Everything noon to 6 p.m., much on the lighter variety here. Clouds moving in as we speak, and that's not going to change. You're going to be fairly cloudy the entire day, even when you're not seeing raindrops coming down. First bands of rain that are a little more significant in terms of coverage area move in late morning to early afternoon. That's light rainfall. And then the darker greens, the yellows that move in after 6 p.m. Here's 9 o'clock. Here's midnight. No severe weather, but this is the other part that we had as number 2 that's different in the forecast. Here is Friday night into Saturday morning. Here's midnight, Friday into Saturday. Blue on the radar for portions of southern Kentucky, and it even looks less impressive now than it did the last time that this updated 2 hours ago. But a few flurries possible over the Cumberland Plateau.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get to I-40 at Charlotte Avenue. This is over on the west side of town. We do have a disabled car over there on the shoulder, waiting for a little attention over there, right there on the shoulder of the road. Other than that, you're good to go coming in from West Nashville this morning with no big significant problems. Here is I-24 near Haywood Lane, making that drive up from Antioch. We're also looking good. We'll let you know if and when things change, and of course they will.
Big Brother is coming with you to work. Employers are now using AI to keep tabs on their employees. I'm Madison Allworth with Fox Business. I'll have the details coming up.
The trucking company and the insurance company are not concerned with the victim. I was worried about being able to pay my bills. I enjoyed you representing me because I knew I had to have the best.
5:43 is the time, and we do want to let you know that more than 300 physicians' assistants from across our state, they were at the Capitol yesterday supporting bills to make health care more accessible in rural areas.
Yeah, these bills that they're pushing would improve accessibility by getting rid of what they call unnecessary obstacles and rules that stand in the way of patients who need help. To Erica's point, especially in our rural communities, Tennessee right now battling a shortage of healthcare workers like many other states.
Yeah, one of the measures they would want would allow PAs to practice medicine to the full extent of their training and education. And supporters say, listen, it would be a win-win.
As PAs, we work within healthcare with other healthcare providers, and so we're all a part of a team. And so to be able to further our practice raises the level of everyone that we get to practice with. And so I think anything we could do to increase access of healthcare and to improve healthcare for Tennesseans, I would like to be a part of.
According to the Tennessee Academy of Physician Assistants, PAs are responsible for more than 500 million patient visits a year across the country.
You ever feel like somebody's watching you? Could be more like undercover boss than Big Brother. We have some employers right now who are using artificial intelligence to snoop on their employees.
All right, Fox business correspondent Madison Alworth has the AI details.
AI might be helping your employer analyze and read your messages on popular work apps. There is a growing trend of company using tools like the AI startup Aware to monitor company communication. Aware says 90% of their clients use their AI for e-discovery, so essentially to monitor for speech that creates legal risk. The other portion of their business can read employee sentiment in real time. Companies like Delta use the tool for both legal purposes and to assess sentiment. Some of the apps this new software might be used on include Slack, Microsoft Teams, Workplace, or Zoom, monitoring as messages are sent back and forth.
I would feel like, I don't know, like they're just trying to get something out of me and get me in trouble or something.
I'm fine with it because I'm very watchful of what I do on company time.
It's so flawed and so messed up that I just think it wouldn't be a useful investment of anyone's time or money.
Now, when it comes to Aware, the CEO tells Fox Business, quote, "We believe that fostering a positive, safe, and legally compliant work environment is not only the right thing to do, it's also smart business. And AI helps us do it better at scale and with respect to privacy." AI is now assessing billions of messages across millions of employees. You could be one of them. In New York, I'm Madison Alworth, Fox Business.
Madison, thank you very much. 5:46 on this Thursday. Maybe Friday, Friday Junior, Gateway to Friday, Friday Eve, whatever you like to call it.
Gateway to
Like all those
Friday.
things. We are getting there, y'all.
All right, so Erica, forecast is changing a little bit here, okay? When it comes to cold temperatures for the weekend mornings, you were like, why is it going to be cold and it's 50s out right now? So
Plus, she's trying to plan her runs for the weekend. Yeah.
So, but I also promised you a quicker warm-up on Sunday than Saturday. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
So let's take a look at how this process goes. Right now, if you look outside, it's cloudy. You go to bed, you put your blanket on, all that heat you had when you got in bed stays with you. So we have a lot of the heat from yesterday. Afternoon, we hit the 70s. It's still with us. We're in the 50s. Think about when you go to bed and there's no blanket on. All that heat that you took with you is not under the covers anymore. It goes right back up into the air and comes back off your body. So 71 degrees was the high yesterday. But we started off at 35. We gained all that heat during the day. We were this cold because we were clear in the morning, just like tomorrow morning is going to be, just like we're going to be on Saturday and Sunday morning, where we're going to start off at the 35-degree mark. What happens is we get all this heat all day long, heat up to 71. If there's no blanket to keep the heat there, then the heat just comes right back out of the ground. The ground warms up, and then eventually that daytime heating, yes, escapes right back into the atmosphere and quickly cools us. So there's nothing to keep it close to ground level with the clouds. And even though the clouds are thousands of feet up in the air, it's enough to keep our temperatures from dropping as significantly. So when you see the weekend, you go, oh, today's 57 waking up. Well, it's going to be back in the 30s. We lose the cloud cover, and that way we lose the heating of the day. But we will quickly warm up. So maybe you are making plans to run Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I'll tell you by about 8 o'clock, we'll be back into the 40s on Saturday, and by 9 o'clock we'll be in the 50s on Sunday morning.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's take a quick look here, if we can, at I-40. This is at Charlotte Avenue there on the west side. We're still dealing with that disabled vehicle there on the shoulder of the road. You can get by. No significant slowdowns out there this morning as you make your way in from the west side. This is the only thing we're really dealing with right now, but things can and will change. Other than that, here is a look at I-24 at Shelby. A reminder, this will be the location coming up here a week from today. They're going to be breaking ground on that brand new $2.2 billion stadium down here in the parking lot of the Nissan Stadium area. So a reminder, you may want to be aware about all the trucks and construction and all that movement that's going to be happening down here over the course of the next several years.
Justin, thank you. In our economy, there are some Federal Reserve economists that are saying that they're worried that cooling inflation may not last long.
Just minutes from the Federal Reserve's January meeting show that they were seeing significant progress in reducing inflation, but those same documents, the minutes in other words, show that things could be moving too fast when it comes to cutting interest rates. So we have some federal officials warning of a potential stall instability, for example, if demand starts to increase. So for now, the interest rates stay flat, not going to drop anytime soon. But after raising the rate 11 times since March of 2022, at least staying flat right now, is good news for a lot of folks.
11 times, wow. Yeah. Now to Operation Crime and Justice. A Nashville woman, a survivor of domestic violence, taking every possible step to protect herself from her accused abuser. And despite this, she ended up murdered the same day her ex-husband got out of jail.
Michaela Carter called Metro Nashville Police after getting threats. Right after a Metro officer left her house, Carter died. The city of Nashville settled a lawsuit with her family, but her family says that money is not enough.
We need every officer to respond to every domestic violence call with compassion, with empathy, and with intention.
The changes that the family wants to see in Nashville, and whatever happened with that officer, we'll get answers tonight on Fox 17 News at 9.
In business news, United Airlines says they are sending flights to Israel for the first time since the war with Hamas began last October. The airline is set to become the first U.S. carrier to go ahead and resume its services to Israel.
Interesting here this morning as we watch the developments. United says that they're going to send 2 flights, one on March 2nd and the other on March 4th. Delta plans to bring back its Israel service as well, with flights expected to resume May 1st.
Well, we love our furry friends, but they certainly cost a lot of money, and it's starting to add up. We're going to share some more statistics behind the financial burden of our furry friends.
Relaxed international tensions.
Life can be shorter than expected. Shouldn't you go to church more than 3 times? Visit a nearby Christian church this Sunday.
Good morning. Welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning, where we continue to try to get answers as to why tens of thousands of people are currently without wireless service across the country and here at home. This live look from Nashville, where we've got the AT&T building. That's what we call the Batman building. And so we do know that AT&T customers right now, the highest impact. We're talking close to 40,000 customers reporting they have no service. Their phones are on that SOS mode, but we've also learned Cricket, T-Mobile, and Verizon customers are impacted by this nationwide wireless outage.
A big issue, and we're going to make sure we get some answers. Our Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar going to be joining us live with some more updates throughout this newscast. We're also talking about consumer news. There is a new survey revealing paw parents feel financially strained because of the rising cost of pet ownership. I agree with this story.
Well, and it's one of the reasons that our local animal shelters have reported when people come and turn in their dogs to put them up for adoption. They say they just can't afford it anymore. According to USA Today, 91% of the people they surveyed admitted that they do experience a level of financial stress due to pet-related costs, and that's been especially true over the last year. In response, 66% of those surveyed said that they had cut back their personal spending in order to afford paying for their pets. About 65% of dog owners in this survey said they've even had to approach friends or family members to get financial help to cover the cost of having their pets.
Disclaimer for this next story. I do not care about award shows, but
same.
I might care about this. There's a company offering one lucky movie lover the chance to win big if they predict the outcome of this year's Oscar winners correctly. I would have a hard time doing that because I don't even know who's nominated.
We just don't stay in that loop. We got kids. Test Casinos says that the winner of this contest will get $2,000 in cash, a new 4K TV, and a $500 DoorDash gift card. But you have to watch all 10 of the Best Picture nominated movies. That's like 300 hours.
Okay, so we're out.
Of movie watching, am I right? Like,
that's too much. Emotional renaissance, entertainment impact, memorability meter, creative quotient, and overall social buzz score. Those are some of the meters for judging.
You have to also predict the winners for Best Director, Actor, Actress, and Supporting. So in other words, the odds of you winning this are
And how much do you win?
slim to none.
For 300 hours of work, how much do you win? It's like...
Hold on, did I do the math right?
$2,000 in cash, just $2,000.
Hold on, I did the math wrong. That's not
when you watch all of that.
That's 30. I
it's
added
30
an extra
hours,
zero.
but
That's
still.
30 hours of movies still. If we don't have 30 hours to share,
I don't.
to watch movies. Somebody does, I'm sure.
Someone who's not in this room does, I'll tell you that much. Taking a look here.
I need more caffeine. My math wasn't adding up there.
Jen, it's not even 6 o'clock in the morning yet. No one should be doing math this
early. It would
early.
feel like 300 hours to me.
Wouldn't it?
I mean, I'd rather stab me in the eye with a pencil. No thanks.
Oh, wow. Everyone hide the pencils. Take a look here. Our dog of the day, Jack, sent in by Wendy Peterson. This is a good morning for a dog walk, but not a great afternoon, especially for the littler doggos whose paws and undercarriages can get a little bit wet when the grass gets wet. Go out there this morning, the afternoon and evening. And it's going to be warm, but there will be rain moving in starting around lunchtime, and then that will continue to get a little bit heavier going into the evening hours. 6 o'clock until midnight, the chance for some weak thunderstorms and a band of heavy rain will track through the Middle Tennessee area. Taking a look, how do you send your photo in? You go to Facebook, find that pinned post at the top. My dog, my mail carrier, Obi, will send it directly to me, and we will send it directly to here on Fox 17 News this morning. Please, some of the pencils have been put away.
Steer clear traffic as you get out the door this morning. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with out there on I-40 at the 2nd and 4th Avenue exit there on the south loop of downtown. No big problems so far down there this morning. You're in great shape. The traffic will start to pick up here in our 6 o'clock hour as the more and more of these lanes will start to fill up with traffic as folks are coming in, especially down I-24. But as we end this 5 o'clock hour, you could not ask for better traffic out there in all directions. But again, things will change coming up here very soon.
Justin, thank you. Hey, check this out. China is planning to send a new set of pandas to the San Diego Zoo. They're so cute. If all the permits and requirements are met accordingly, 2 panda bears, male and female, they're going to arrive to the San Diego Zoo as early as the end of summer.
Okay, this comes 5 years after the San Diego Zoo sent the last of its pandas back to China. The pandas returned to their home country after relations between the U.S. and China started to go south. But both President Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping vowed in November to calm things down, which could then result in the pandas coming back.
All right, pandas in San Diego. Stay with us. Our 6 o'clock hour is starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Multiple wireless carriers are experiencing outages, especially AT&T. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll have the details.
Rain moving in later today, and we've changed the timeline just a little bit. So the new updated timeline you're waking up to this morning, and I am talking about a small chance for some snowflakes this weekend.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 near Old Hickory Boulevard in Antioch. Traffic out there moving along very nicely, but things will change. I'll tell you when, coming up in just a few.
Did you hear Greg say that? A small chance of snow flurries? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thank you for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be here for you as your live local news source through 9 a.m. And kicking off our 6 o'clock hour continues to be the breaking news story impacting so many people here at home, but also nationwide. A massive cellular outage hitting AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and Cricket customers.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live from outside of an AT&T store in downtown Nashville. Karen, what are you seeing? Are we getting any kind of updates as to when this could be resolved?
We're not getting any updates at this moment, but what I can tell you is that many AT&T customers had no service on their phones, including an Uber and Lyft driver that we talked to on this parking lot. Also, we mentioned our own photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey was having issues with his phone. He's an AT&T customer as well. He wasn't able to make calls and his phone said SOS, but he's not alone. More than 30,000 AT&T customers have reported outages across the country since around 4 this morning, according to downdetector.com. Now, that Uber and Lyft driver I was talking about tells us how it's been impacting him.
For those who depend on our carriers, like AT&T's, definitely does affect our business. So I was wondering how the AT&T going to deal with this kind of problems or situation with their customers.
He tells me that he usually sees customers around this hour, and because his phone wasn't working, of course, he couldn't take those rides. That is how it's affecting his business. And of course, as you mentioned, just people all across Nashville and across the country. Now, AT&T has not released a statement. We've also reached out to Verizon, T-Mobile, and Cricket, whose customers have also been reporting outages, and we're waiting to hear back. Reporting live in downtown Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Oh, Karen, thank you. We're also asking all of you this morning, are you having issues with your AT&T service? So we're sharing the comments over on our Fox Nashville Facebook page. We have some new comments, I understand, but folks asking or answering to your point, Jen, you said earlier, Cricket. Yes, Cricket. I saw 2 comments. My Cricket service is saying emergency calls only.
Right. So if you want to be able to do anything on those phones with the service through those companies, you will have to be connected to Wi-Fi. Otherwise, you won't be able to make a call, get a call, send a text, receive a text. SOS mode typically will work if you have an emergency. So just know that. Also hearing that the landline operations for AT&T, which does service Tennessee, not impacted right now.
All right. In local news, former President Donald Trump is headed to Nashville. It's happening today. We have our Fox 17 News photojournalist David McClure giving us a live look on your screen over at Gaylord Opryland Resort.
Yeah, that is where Mr. Trump will be speaking at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. Again, happening at the Gaylord Opryland. We know that it's going to happen later this evening. It's part of their presidential forum tonight. We will be covering Mr. Trump's visit throughout the day, the impact to potentially traffic in and around the airport and Opryland coming up both on air and online at fox17.com.
At 6:03, we do need to check in with that forecast because grab your umbrella and then Saturday, snow. What? Explanation, Greg.
Words in context and everything. I promise you it's not a big deal, but you do want the umbrella. 100% for the afternoon. Cloudy morning, warm temperatures right side of your screen. We are lucky to be waking up here in the upper 50s. Expect the wind to increase late morning into early afternoon. Wind gusts up near 35 miles per hour. So a breezy one on tap for us here. Slight changes to rainfall timing. Noon to about 6 p.m., most of us seeing a few pop-up little light rain showers. 6 p.m. through midnight, a line of showers moves through, a little heavier rainfall at times, and even a clap of thunder cannot be ruled out. No severe weather. We do have those beautiful temperatures that are going to go from 57 degrees to 66 later on this afternoon. Let's talk about the word snow. Friday night into Saturday morning. We're talking mainly about midnight through 4 a.m., the chance for a few flurries through portions of southern Kentucky and out toward the Cumberland Plateau. We're not going to wake up with any on the ground. There'll be no impact, but if for some reason you're up in the middle of the night, you may catch some flakes that are flying.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-40 at Broadway as you make that drive into town there from the downtown Nashville area. You can see traffic in that area is moving, doing really well actually in all directions so far this morning. No crash, no drama, nothing going on out there that would hold you up other than all of your friends and neighbors starting to get out there like this drive on I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard coming through the Antioch area. You can start to see some of the slowdown and stack up in this area. Again, we're not receiving word of a crash yet, but congestion like this is going to become more common as the morning goes on.
6:05 is the time right now. Politics and headlines right now. 5th District Congressman Andy Ogles is on the hot seat after video was making the rounds online pro-Palestinian activist asking him last week about children killed in the Gaza Strip. Well, Representative Ogles said, quote, "I think we should kill them all if that makes you feel better. Everybody in Hamas." And this morning, he is saying that the comments in the context circulating on social media were taken out of the full context of what he was saying.
Yes, so we're also getting some comments from the American Muslim Advisory Council. They released a statement after he clarified what he meant, and it said in part, such rhetoric is not only apparent, but also antithetical to our values as a state. As citizens of Tennessee, we deserve better representation from those elected to office. Now, Ogles' office, okay, they released a statement last night. They're trying to clear up the air here, making some clarifications. They said in part, these terrorists deserve to die. Andy Ogles, was clearly referencing, Hamas terrorists during this exchange.
We'll continue to update you on this story as it develops, both on air and online at fox17.com.
There's a new drug overdose on the street that has...
Trade-in assist cash now at North Nashville's Nissan of Rivergate in Madison.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen.
6:09 is the time. Here on this particular Thursday morning, welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. A drug normally used on animals has not been approved for human consumption at all, but now it's showing up on the streets of Nashville, and Metro Police and their top drug enforcement officer says it's a medication called Zyno. Now, he says it's starting to show up in a number of areas, and it is causing a lot of problems. And he says what's even worse than this is that this particular drug cannot be overridden with things like Narcan. Now, the drugs can leave open sores and even the removal of limbs if it does not kill you first.
Unfortunately, in my personal and professional opinion, the xylazine is here on scene in Nashville's drug supply, and that poses significant public health and public safety issues to our citizens, and it creates not only a problem for treatment of substance use disorder, but it also creates other public health problems with the open wounds.
Now, xylazine, according to Metro Police, has been on the state of Tennessee's radar since 2022. They believe it's coming in from places like Mexico and other places down in Central America. They say it is being sold and oftentimes laced along with drugs like fentanyl and in meth mixes around the city.
6:10 is your time. Let's get you up and out the door this morning. Right side of your screen, you'll see current temperatures that are in the 50s here. February 22nd, and we're waking up to temperatures that are in the 50s. Not going to last long, but enjoy it while it does. 53 degrees will be your temperature at 7, 56 at 8, and 58 degrees at 9. We're going to see cloud cover continue to increase as you get up and out the door, but rain chances are going to hold off until late morning into early afternoon. 7 a.m. Still not much happening. We go toward 11, 12 o'clock, and then 1 p.m. The rain cutting through about half of our viewing area here. I would say I-65 to the west, you're seeing some scattered showers at that point. Light rainfall, and then we go to 6 p.m., 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, midnight. That is the 6-hour window where a heavier band of rain with a few weak thunderstorms tracks through the area. I stress the word weak. If we hear any thunder, don't worry about any severe weather. You could get a gust of wind or two, but nothing that's going to be anything of cause for concern. Then we have this that moves in. This is new in the last 24 hours. Chance for some snowflakes flying Friday night into Saturday. Portions of southern Kentucky and out toward the Cumberland Plateau. This is not going to be a high impact or any of an impact kind of an event, and they'll be done flying by the time you wake up on Saturday.
Still clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a quick look at the traffic conditions on I-40 at Dallas and Pike, close to the airport. Traffic out there moving along pretty well. No big problems out there as you approach BNA. You'll be able to jump off, get to your location here. Now, as for your flight, right now is looking okay, but you never know once you get inside. But the traffic going there looks pretty good. Here is going to be I-40 on the other side of town. This is at 46th Avenue coming through the Nations this morning. Looking rather good, rather nice for that trip. What is starting to change is the trips coming in from other locations like Hendersonville at 30 minutes, Murfreesboro just over an hour now, 26 minutes in from Mount Juliet. All these times will rise throughout the morning. Well, coming up, family members of hostages taken by Hamas visited Nashville. They are sharing their terrifying stories and the hopes that they still have that their families will get the help that they need. Thank you for waking up with us right here on Fox 17 News this morning. We're your only local news source, live with you with traffic and weather updates 4 a.m. until 9 a.m.
Brakes starting at just $100. Alignment starting at $59.99.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville.
At 6:14, Fox 17 News has continuing coverage of school choice in Tennessee. Now, we have not seen all the details of Governor Bill Lee's voucher program, but we are learning more from 2 amendments filed in the state Senate.
All right, so let's get into it here, find out how this could impact families in our state. Majority Leader Jack Johnson of Franklin, his amendment would cap these vouchers at $20,000 per student for the first year, and then cap overall spending at $140 million. Not everybody in the governor's party is sold on school choice. Those who represent some of our rural areas argue that vouchers could hurt underfunded schools.
Well, to see all of our in-depth reporting on this particular topic in Crisis in the Classroom, go to fox17.com and search vouchers.
Continuing coverage this morning of the Israel-Hamas war, families visiting Nashville from Israel, speaking on behalf of their loved ones who have been held hostage by Hamas for more than 4 months now.
Including Moshe Lavi right here, who was born in Israel and now lives in New York. His life was just forever changed on October 7th. That's when his family members were killed in Hamas's attack and his brother-in-law was taken hostage. Right now, he is traveling across the country sharing their stories.
My niece Roni was still sleeping in the safe room with guns pointed at her face. Imagine that, someone waking up your baby daughter with guns pointed at her face.
Lavi said that he wants to see city, state, and national leaders unite to help fight to release these hostages.
This Saturday, if you want to meet Greg and our other meteorologists, Code Red meteorologists, you can check them out at the Severe Weather Awareness event.
That you can, and you know, I literally was just about to talk about
There
that.
you go.
So let's talk about it. Yeah, 9 o'clock until noon. The entire weather team's going to be out at Tribeca University, and we're going to be talking weather. We're going to hand out some goodies to you. You can come by, say hi, ask any weather questions you may have. And we're not the only ones there. We're going to have panels of people talking about Nashville weather, Tennessee weather, what we expect for the year ahead. Maybe you're brand new to the area and you've not gone through a full season or a full year worth of Nashville or Middle Tennessee weather. We can get just about anything except for snow any time of the year. That means severe weather even. That's why we do Severe Weather Awareness Week, usually end of February, right early into March, because we're getting closer and closer to the main severe weather season for us here. So we do an entire week worth of just giving a few reminders of a few things. This week is going to be, I should say today for the week, is going to be severe thunderstorms. So we'll talk about how they work. We'll also talk about just some checklists of what makes the storm severe versus not, because there will be a few storms in the forecast later today. Nothing on radar right now. You're waking up comfortably in the 50s. 66 degrees. Your temperature later on this afternoon. We'll get there right around lunchtime, and it will be a little bit breezy. Expect wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. And then we get toward the weekend and things change. 59 degrees tomorrow. Look at Saturday. It's not a misprint. Look up. Flurries. Friday night into Saturday, there will be a few snow flurries in portions of southern Kentucky and out over the Cumberland Plateau. No impact, nothing to worry about as far as anything sticking. We're far too warm. And then just like that, we're right back into warmer temperatures. 68 degrees on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, low 70s. Right side of your screen, right there in the 7-day forecast, Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the next big weather maker after today. We're already getting early indications there could be some strong to severe storms we have to watch getting into and out of the weekend.
Steer clear traffic as you make that drive out and about. There's going to be I-24 Waldron Road coming in from the south and east side, making that drive in from Rutherford County. As you can see, traffic is moving but starting to slow down there in the Waldron Road area. No major accidents to tell you about, though. Just normal congestion this time of the day, but it can cause you some issues. Here is a live look here at I-65 at Armory Drive. We're looking okay in that particular area. Traffic free, flowing and smooth. We'll let you know about other things happening around town.
Justin, thank you. 6:19 is your time. Looking ahead, the group trying to bring Major League Baseball to Nashville says they now have a long-range plan in place. Representatives with the Nashville Stars say right now they are focused on identifying the best sites for a potential stadium, putting together an ownership group and continuing.
Right now that we have your attention, one of the biggest obstacles of bringing a Major League Baseball team to Music City is figuring out where a new stadium would go. We're mapping it out for you. There has been some talk that the new stadium could go on what's currently part of Tennessee State University's campus. That is right behind us here on the map. Another option, though, as reported by ESPN, would be here, Nissan Stadium, across the Cumberland River, next to the soon-to-be new Nissan Stadium. All right, so we want to know, what do you think about this? Here's the question that we're asking over on our Fox Nashville X account. Would you be willing to fund a Major League Baseball stadium for Nashville? As of right now, 61.2% of you all say no. There's still time for you to cast your vote. Scan the QR code that's on your screen or go to our X page at Fox Nashville.
A man is behind bars this morning after a crash that killed a woman and hurt 2 other people. We'll explain the backstory and those new updates.
Some did it, some not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
Fox 17 celebrates Black History Month.
And if it was, what are we going to do?
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning, 6:23 right now in Operation Crime and Justice. Metro Police have arrested a man who they say was connected to a crash that killed a woman here in Nashville.
Yeah, Metro Police say it was 24-year-old Adrian Edwin who admitted to drinking before that crash that happened. It was a head-on crash, and Christian Holt was the victim who died. 2 other people were also hurt. Edwin is now facing charges of vehicular homicide and assault.
6:23 is your time, and Greg left us just a few notes for you in the forecast, primarily for your bus stop forecast. So good morning to you with all the kids as you're getting up and getting ready for the day. Should not have any rain this morning at the bus stop, so that's the good news, but you could run into it later this afternoon. So plan ahead now. Make sure the kids have maybe a little umbrella in the backpack or a jacket. 7 a.m., 53 degrees. By 9 a.m., once the kids are in school, 58 degrees, and those clouds start to roll in.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a good look at what's happening outside. This is going to be I-24 at Alvatan Road as you make that drive in from the Smyrna area. This is out there where the Nissan plant is located right now, doing really nicely. Traffic does bunch up a little further into town, though, around Waldron Road. But other than that, you're doing okay on the drives. The drive time is just over an hour. We have apparently picked up something happening coming in from Vietnam Vets at Gallatin Road. This is where this slowdown is. Typically, the slowdowns here are because of possibly a crash. We see something this bad. It's slow, but it's not this slow at 6:24. So we're going to take a closer look at that. You can always use Main Street, Gallatin Road as a good way to steer clear. This may be just congestion, but we're going to take a closer look at it coming up here in the next few minutes.
Right now, though, we go to Clarksville, where police say they need some help finding 3 people wanted in connection with a burglary last month where they broke into a van, caught on security video, stealing stuff from inside of it.
Now, police say they were breaking into a white Dodge Durango. It's more of a SUV there, and stole tools from a work van near Windermere Drive out there.
So they were driving in a white Durango and then stole from the van.
Stole from the van.
Yeah, so that's like
Durango.
the getaway car.
Yeah, like this one right here. Okay, so if you have any information about these suspects or where they may be, you can leave an anonymous tip with Clarksville Police.
These people are bad people. They're going to turn up on terrorist watch lists.
Continuing coverage this morning of the crisis at our southern border. Reaction from lawmakers here in Tennessee in minutes.
And we are also tracking the potential of rain and also a massive cellular outage involving AT&T and possibly other carriers as well. We're going to give you the very latest update about how many people could be searching for bars right now.
Bates Ford.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
6:28 is the time. Right now, showing you a live look of the Nashville skyline over by Nissan Stadium. Listen, pack your umbrella not for this morning, but later this evening. We're mapping it all out, giving you the timeline in your full forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to Vietnam Vets at Gallatin Road, where things have eased up after an early morning slowdown. We'll give you the latest details about other things happening around town.
Thanks so much for starting your day with us here on Fox 17 News this morning. Happy Thursday. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. We're going to get started by bringing you up to speed on our breaking news situation, because if you have AT&T, you might be waking up and thinking, hey, what's happening with my phone here?
What's wrong with the phones? AT&T, Cricket, T-Mobile, Verizon. All of those customers impacted this morning due to a nationwide wireless outage.
Website downdetector.com reporting more than 31,000 AT&T outages that started around 3:30 this morning.
So here we are 3 hours into this, and there are some 51,000 AT&T customers right now who are in SOS mode. Customers taking to social media, complaining, saying they cannot make or receive calls. Some say their data is showing up as SOS and they're having to rely on Wi-Fi. And we're talking major cities like Nashville, Atlanta, Chicago, Los Angeles, all impacted this morning.
Okay, so we're asking over on our Fox 17 Nashville social media accounts, are you having issues with AT&T? We're hearing from you all, and we're going to scroll down here, but yes, to your point, Jen, some saying, yeah, my phone is in SOS mode. When you have SOS mode, you can still make those emergency calls, though.
Yes, you have to push the button on the side of your phone to get it to go, but yes, you can. And what's interesting to me, too, is that here we are 3 hours into this nationwide outage and still no response from AT&T. No Twitter update, no Facebook post, no update on their website, nothing. Radio silence from AT&T up until right now.
All right, we'll continue sharing this story and get you some updates throughout this newscast.
Former President Donald Trump is coming to Nashville today. This will be a big local headline as we go through your Thursday. Our Fox 17 News photojournalist David McClure joining us live this morning from Gaylord Opryland Resort, where Mr. Trump will be making that visit.
Yeah, he's going to be speaking at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. Their presidential forum is happening tonight. We're going to be covering Trump's visit, though, throughout the day, both on air and online at fox17.com. Going to be busy over there, though. Be mindful of traffic throughout the day if you're heading in that area.
And be doubly mindful that it'll be raining with that traffic if you're heading over there later on today in that area. So this is how we're going to work with what's new this morning. Rain is still part of the game today. That's not changing, but small changes to rain timing when it moves in and when the heavier rain moves in behind a few little lighter showers. We'll take a look at it. No signs of severe weather. We'll take it. Now, there will be some rumbles of thunder, but no severe thunderstorms and no tornado threat. Saturday, though, slightly unsettled. Friday night into Saturday, there's a chance there could be a few snow flurries depending upon where you live. Depending upon where you live. It's not going to stick. It's not going to be an impact. It'll be done by Saturday morning, but we're tracking here just showers and run-of-the-mill spring storms. We're all clear for code red. No problems there. The other piece of the puzzle will be wind. Wind gusts up near 35 miles per hour right in the middle of the day. Right side of your screen, you are waking up in the 50s on the way to 66 degrees early afternoon. Nothing on radar right now. Coming up in about 8 minutes from right now, we're going to have a new look at future track, time out the rain that moves in today, and then also look at Friday night into Saturday and see why we don't have to worry when we hear the word snow for the weekend.
Still clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a quick look here at Vietnam Veterans Boulevard at Gallatin Pike there on the side coming down from Sumner County. As you can see, traffic is moving there. We did have a slight slowdown a few moments ago coming down from Hendersonville, but that has since moved on and out of the way. Things have unclogged, so you're doing okay. Overall drive times this morning looking like this. Franklin into downtown at 30 minutes. Murfreesboro now over an hour coming down I-24, 47 minutes coming in from Spring Hill. When we find something, we'll let you know.
Justin, thank you. Continuing coverage this morning of the crisis at our southern border. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty and other elected leaders, along with law enforcement, all made a trip to the southern border, especially as we are seeing so many debates over immigration reform.
Senator Hagerty is now outlining some of the issues that he says he saw while visiting. Hagerty calling the migrants crossing the border, quote, bad people, and says they are going to end up on the terrorist watch list. We have seen hundreds of thousands of migrants crossing the border, and we talked about that here on Fox 17 News. Well, Hagerty says since Texas has cracked down on undocumented immigration, immigrants are still pouring in.
He says what was happening at the border is impacting every state, including Tennessee.
You think about the fentanyl overdoses, the increasing crime, the taxing that it's put on our schools, our hospitals, our law enforcement agencies. We're feeling it right here in Tennessee, and has been said so often, every state is a border state.
However, not everyone is in agreement with Senator Hagerty. Listen here.
the chaos at the border has much been, I think, perpetrated by the Texas government and Governor Abbott.
Now, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has promised to send more Tennessee National Guard troops from here down to Texas along the southern border to help them secure that area.
Now we're taking a look at a story that's trending on Fox17.com. It looks like Taylor Swift is not the only musician who wants to team up with Travis Kelce.
Maybe just in a different way.
Yeah.
The Chiefs tight end could be looking at a duet with Garth Brooks. Say what?
Yeah, what? Okay.
Yeah, Garth Brooks has the new bar, Friends in Low Places, on Lower Broadway, and they're supposed to have their grand opening on March 7th. Now, it's already open, but they're going to have the big to-do on the 7th. The country music legend Garth Brooks has now invited Travis Kelce to join the celebration on Broadway. Why, you wonder? Well, here's why. The invitation came after the NFL on Fox posted a TikTok of Travis Kelce singing Friends in Low Places at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade.
Oh, okay. Well, Brooks says he would be happy to send a plane to Kelce. A plane, okay. And any friends that he would like to bring along, reminding him that the plane only holds 11 people.
Listen, I think if Travis Kelce needs a plane, he knows where to get one.
That's right, Taylor. He's got it.
I think they've got that all squared away.
In your community, new officers are going to be working to keep Nashville safe, and we're going to show you a photo to show you who we're talking about. Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell and Police Chief John Drake hosting the graduation ceremony for 5 officers. This was last night. Those graduates are law enforcement professionals from other police departments who decided to go ahead and transfer to Nashville.
And Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell has a plan on moving forward for Nashville when it comes to transportation and other things that the city needs. We'll tell you about those plans in about 2 minutes.
And we're continuing to follow the massive cellular outage, not only with AT&T, but also T-Mobile and Verizon.
We are professional grade. Visit Darrell Waltrip BuickGMC.com. This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Destin Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. 6:38 is your time. Right now, we've got a live look from downtown Nashville, and in some of our local government headlines, Mayor Freddie O'Connell for Nashville is thanking council members for approving his very first capital spending plan.
Now, the council unanimously approved this $514 million spending plan. It does include money for schools, transportation infrastructure, We Go public transit service, as well as maintenance in parks and libraries as well. Mayor O'Connell says that he is trying to create a plan with fiscal responsibility at its core.
Time right now, 6:39, taking a look at your forecast here. This is going to be a forecast that's going to be ever-changing throughout today and into the weekend as well. We have no rain right now on the radar. That's good. We're going to start that way for the morning, late morning into early afternoon. Light rain showers move in. The best chance for heavy rain or any possible thunderstorm activity is going to be 6 p.m. through midnight, and then everything turns off, and then we're good to go. All of Friday going to be dry until the overnight hours, and then that'll get a little unsettled, but it's not going to be a major impact. Here is this morning, starting off, rain moving in a little bit later than it earlier looked, or I should say than it looked earlier in the week. This is 1 p.m., so isolated areas of some light to moderate rainfall. You can see the line of dark greens, yellows, and oranges that set up over southern Kentucky right around 6 o'clock. They moved through the Nashville area around 9 o'clock. They're out of here by midnight. And then just cooler air for tomorrow morning and for Friday and Saturday. This is the one change to Friday night. Midnight Friday night into Saturday morning, a few light rain showers and also a few areas of some potential flurries that track through. Those are out of here by early morning, and then we'll dry out, and we will also get a little sunshine in by the end of your Saturday.
Steer clear traffic takes us out to a crash happening on I-24. This is very close to Sam Ridley Parkway. You can see a number of cars there on the shoulder of the road. TDOT is in place. CHP is there as well. This is causing slight slowdowns in both directions here. Very close to Waldron Road up there in that location. So the best way to steer clear at this particular moment, Highway 41, that's the old Nashville Highway. That's a good way to get you past some of that. We'll continue to follow things out there on the road. This is the biggest problem we've got going on so far.
Whether you eat out or cook at home, you're likely spending more on food than you have in decades. I'm Rebecca Castor in Washington with more on the stubbornly high food prices under President Biden coming up.
Plus, making healthcare more.
Almost everyone.
He's kissing everybody but me.
Tonight at 7 on Fox 17.
The Good Feet Store, improving people's lives 2 feet at a time.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. More than 300 physician assistants from across Tennessee come to the Capitol in Nashville to support legislation to make healthcare more accessible.
And these bills that they're pushing would improve, they say, accessibility by getting rid of what they call unnecessary obstacles and hurdles and rules that stand in the way of patients who need help. Think in more rural communities. Tennessee, as we know, is battling a shortage of healthcare workers overall. One of the measures that these PAs say would help them would allow PAs to practice medicine, quote, to the full extent of their training and education. Supporters say it truly would be a win-win.
As PAs, we work within healthcare with other healthcare providers, and so we're all a part of a team. And so to be able to further our practice raises the level of everyone that we get to practice with. And so I think anything we could do to increase access of healthcare and to improve healthcare for Tennesseans, I would like to be a part of.
According to the Tennessee Academy of Physician Assistants, PAs are responsible for more than 500 million patient visits every year.
Well, some Federal Reserve officials worry that cooling inflation may not last long. Minutes from the Federal Reserve's January meeting does show that officials say, quote, significant progress in reducing inflation is being seen, but they also add that it could be moving too fast on cutting interest rates. That's interesting.
Well, it is. We know that interest rates are staying flat for right now. The feds came out recently and said they do not plan to drop them in March like a lot of people had predicted. So it could be later this year before we see an interest rate drop. Now, some federal officials are warning of a stall out instability, because if we do see demand increase in a lot of things, then we could be seeing another shift in what happens with these interest rates. So definitely something worth watching, and we'll continue to keep you posted here on Fox 17 News this morning.
And inflation might be cooling, but most of you are probably tired of racking up those sky-high grocery bills.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. The latest numbers showing food prices went up again last month, and they're unlikely to come back down anytime soon.
Our Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor reports.
While prices have come down at the gas pump, open houses, and airports, one place you might find yourself still shelling out cash is the grocery store.
It's pretty expensive.
Fruit is expensive.
I paid almost $14 for this. I spent so much money last year. Me and my roommate, we just go out to eat all the time. That was my goal, to not eat out.
But whether you eat out or at home, the average American is actually spending more on food than they have in the last 30 years. With food prices up 25% since 2019.
As prices rise, you're willing to pay a little more. Everybody gets used to that new number, and I think that's what happens.
And if you think you'll catch a break by ordering fast food instead, think again. Those prices jumped nearly 6% in January.
I'm about to start meal prepping. This is ridiculous.
With the economy a top concern for voters, President Biden has made tackling high prices a key part of his re-election campaign, even calling out companies during the Super Bowl for shrinkflation.
Sports drinks bottles are smaller. A bag of chips has fewer chips, but they're still charging it just as much. The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this.
But his Republican challengers say Bidenomics is to blame.
Biden has crippled families with years of inflation.
60% of Americans are now struggling to pay for their groceries.
Last week, Democrat lawmakers reintroduced the Price Gouging Prevention Act to hold grocery store chains and other corporations accountable for unfair price hikes. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
6:47 is the time, and today is a day that you do not want to forget your umbrella, your poncho, whatever you need to stay dry.
And it'll catch you off guard because it's not raining right now. You might think, God, it's a little cloudy. It's really warm outside. But when you're trying to get home later today and using the windshield wipers and you get out of the car, that's when rain's going to be tracking through the area. So umbrella, absolutely toss it in the back. Actually, don't toss it in the back seat with it and grab it before you go inside. That's how we're going to work with it today. Taking a look, new rainfall timeline means most of our morning going to be dry. The afternoon and evening rain picks up, starts light and very broken in nature, so not all of us getting rain at once. Then 6 p.m. to midnight, a decent line of rain moves in that could give us a few weak thunderstorms. And yes, we're looking ahead to storms next week as well. Next week, We could have some severe thunderstorms Tuesday into Wednesday. Between these two weather makers, a little bit of rain and snow possible Friday night into Saturday. None of these are high impact events until the Tuesday-Wednesday scenario. But just note that in the 7-day forecast, temperatures bouncing around. We have a lot to unpack when it comes to the full forecast. And we get brand new updates here. I get one right now when it comes to temperatures, and then I'll have one for you coming up at 7 o'clock when we become your only live and local news source. That will pertain to future track and what the rest of your day will mean hour by hour.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A cold and icy drive after recent storms dropped snow. Clearing skies left quite the view of Lake Tahoe. When it's cold, nothing like a hot tub dip to warm things up, which Bruno the dog seems to enjoy. This pastel sunrise along the Carson River greeted the morning in Nevada Wednesday. Meanwhile, near South Jordan, Utah, the skies looked like an artist palette as the day said goodbye.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
6:49 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News as we take a look here at I-24. This is right at the Ellington Parkway exit. This is not on the parkway itself. It's actually down at the exit where they've been dealing with a small crash in the area. May have just cleared in the last few minutes there because I don't see the police car anymore, or maybe it's just blocked off. But you can get by. It is causing a bit of a slowdown, though. This is in downtown Nashville. We were dealing with a crash out there on 24th Sam Ridley. Thankfully, they've been able to clear that out of the way, so you are good to go coming in from Rutherford County, other than the slowdowns in the typical spots coming through Laverne.
Justin, thank you. At 6:49, Fox 17 News continuing to follow breaking news involving this. Yeah, your cell phone coverage. We are continuing to track massive cellular outages across the country. Most of the customers having issues are AT&T, but Verizon, T-Mobile, and Cricket customers are also sounding off, letting us know that, yeah, they're experiencing some outages as well. Now, when it comes to AT&T, we're keeping a close eye on their social media accounts, but not seeing any wide shared service updates on their Twitter account. We're noticing, though, they have responded to several customer complaints on the platform. For instance, one right here, this person saying no bars, but on Wi-Fi, and then AT&T, it seems to be an auto-generated response. They're saying that, yeah, we got your message and we are ready to help. That's all we're seeing right now. According to downdetector.com, more than 60,000 AT&T customers do not have service. But when we take a closer look at the numbers, it's a small percentage that are being impacted. We'll continue sharing those breaking news updates, though, throughout 9 a.m.
Erica, thank you. 6:51 right now. Operation Crime and Justice. A Nashville woman who is a survivor of domestic violence takes every step possible to protect herself from her accused abuser. And despite everything she did, she still ended up murdered the same day that her ex-husband got out of jail. Michaela Carter called Metro Police after getting threats. Right after a Metro officer left her house, Carter lost her life. The city of Nashville settled a lawsuit with her family, but the family says money is not enough.
We need every officer to respond to every domestic violence call with compassion, with empathy, and with intention.
The changes they want to see and what happened to the officer that was involved. That's tonight on Fox 17 News at 9.
In business news, United Airlines says they are sending flights to Israel for the first time since the war with Hamas began last October. The airline is set to become the first U.S. carrier to resume its services to Israel. United says it's going to send 2 flights, one on March 2nd and the other one March 4th.
All right, Delta says they plan to bring back its Israel service as well. Flights expected to resume for Delta coming up May 1st.
Coming up on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, we love our furry friends, of course, but they're costing us some money. The new statistics behind the financial burden of our furry friends.
And relaxed international.
Full line of F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some did it, some not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
Good morning. Welcome back to Fox 17 News. This morning, 6:54 is your time. Got a live look into Nashville this morning, where we're going to track some rain coming in for you today. Also continuing to monitor the breaking news developments of the wireless outage nationwide, plus right here in Tennessee. We'll get to all those stories coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. Right now, though, we've got a new survey out this Thursday morning that reveals parents of fur babies feel financially strained because of the rising cost of pet ownership.
Okay, well, according to USA Today's Blueprint survey, 91% of respondents admitted to experiencing, yes, some level of financial stress over the past year due to pet-related costs. In response, 66% of those surveyed say they have curtailed their personal spending, all because they needed to spend some extra money on their animals. Some 65% of dog owners disclosed that they even had to approach friends or family members for some sort of financial assistance.
We have a company right now that's offering to pay one person, big, I guess you could say, if that one person can predict the outcome of this year's Oscar winners correctly.
Test Casino says the winner will receive, listen up, $2,000 in cash, a new 4K TV, and a $500 DoorDash gift card. Me and Jen said we could never do this because we're not going to watch all those movies.
Nope.
Not happening.
Not going to happen.
All you have to do, though, is watch all 10 Best Picture nominated movies and then rank them in order of who is more likely to win based on 5 categories.
So you have to watch them all, rank them all correctly, and then you also have to predict the winners for Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and supporting roles.
Now, what are the odds of that?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of how many people I know who would be able to do that, and I guess maybe one person we work with. Diddy.
Oh, yes. Okay, we'll tell him about this.
David Ditmore, I bet, could do that.
That's right. Let's check in now for your Thursday forecast. Showers on the way.
Showers on the way, but not out there just yet. So maybe you have to get the dog out for a walk at some point today. And you typically have the whole day to pick and choose. Curate your day around the morning because temperatures are already great. We have 50s right here. Our dog of the day, Jack, sent in by Wendy. Thank you for sending in this photo. I love it. Oh, the tongue is everything. 63 degrees at noon, 64 degrees at 3 p.m. Here's how the rain's going to work for us today. A few light, isolated rain showers move in late morning into early afternoon. The coverage area on the radar, so more and more showers popping up throughout the afternoon, 6 p.m. to midnight. Best chance for heavy rain and also for a few thunderstorms that will be non-severe. Get the dogs out now and then snap a photograph. If you want to send us your dog of the day, go to Facebook. And just go to my pinned post right at the top of my Facebook page. Send in your photo right there. I already know your name, but let us know your dog's name. Send in the photo. And also, if you want to share a fun little story, I'll share it right here on Fox 17 News this morning coming up. When we go to 7 o'clock, new look at Future Track, rain, and now introducing the word snow. Not going to worry you, but definitely the chance for a few flakes. We'll talk about that at 7. Now we'll look at steer clear traffic.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. Let's get a check of things. Vietnam Veterans Boulevard up in Hendersonville this morning. Good morning to all of our Sumner County commuters. A little stacked up here on the bypass. No crash reported right now, so that's the good news. Just that standard rush and the merge as everybody files in toward I-65. We'll continue to keep you updated in steer clear traffic as we get into our 7 o'clock hour.
Science story now. Scientists say they may have cracked the code when it comes to what whales are singing. Finding Nemo comes to mind. Researchers at the University of Southern Denmark noticed something peculiar, and now they say they believe the mammals possess something not seen in other animals.
So they don't have vocal cords, but they do have specialized voice boxes that allow their sounds to travel through the water.
All right, interesting. We're also talking about pandas. That's because China is planning to send a new set of pandas to the San Diego Zoo. If all permits and requirements are met accordingly, 2 panda bears, a male and female, they are going to arrive at the San Diego Zoo as early as the end of the summer. Now, folks are wondering, why is this relevant? Politics are involved.
Yeah, politics are involved. Several years ago, the San Diego Zoo sent the last of its pandas back to China. The pandas returned because relations between the U.S. and China started to go south. But it would seem, at least on the surface for right now, things might be improving, so there's a chance the pandas could be back.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
Question for you. Do you know someone who is a hometown hero doing some amazing things in our community? Because if you do, Fox 17 News, we would love to share their story.
Yeah, Ponce Law and Fox 17 have been teaming up for 3 years now to find and award our local hometown heroes $1,000. So if you know somebody who fits that description, head to poncelaw.com/hometownhero. When you get there, you're going to tell us a little bit about yourself and then tell us more about the person you're nominating. Again, you can do that now at poncelaw.com/hometownhero. Every month, we award a brand new hero $1,000.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
7 o'clock on the dot, AT&T's network went down for many of its customers this morning, leaving customers unable to place calls, texts, or even access the internet. We're going to talk about how local residents and business owners are being impacted.
Former President Trump making a stop in Nashville today. We'll tell you what's bringing the Republican presidential frontrunner to Music City.
And we're also talking politics and the southern border, a plan of attack, what Tennessee leaders are saying about the border crisis after seeing the challenges they say firsthand.
And rain approaching Middle Tennessee. Two big changes to the forecast. One, timing today's rain, and the other, bringing the word snow into the forecast for the weekend. We'll look at it in your COVID forecast.
All right, a lot to get to. Do want to start, though, by thanking you for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are your live local news source from 7 until 9 a.m. And we start this hour with breaking news.
Oh, yes. We are continuing to follow the breaking news this Thursday morning about a massive cellular outage impacting AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon customers across the country. More than 44,000 AT&T customers reporting outages on digital service tracking site downdetector.com. Around 3:30 this morning, we understand that nearly 1,000 customers were being impacted here in Nashville. And this story not just impacting customers here in Nashville, but across the country. AT&T has been responding to customer complaints online, but it was too late for customers as this caused, as you might imagine, major inconveniences. Listen.
For those who depend on our carriers, like AT&T's, definitely does affect our business. So I was wondering how the AT&T going to deal with this kind of problems or situation with their customers.
Yeah, our news crews out there getting those answers this morning. The company has encountered sporadic outages over the past couple of days, and now we're asking you all, okay? Are you having any kind of service issues with AT&T? You can see some of the comments right here on our Fox Nashville Facebook page. Go ahead and let us know by heading to our social media platforms and sounding off.
Big story right here in the mid-state today. Former President Donald Trump is making a visit to Nashville. He'll be in Music City over at Opryland speaking to a group of religious broadcasters. Mr. Trump is set to speak at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention at the Gaylord Opryland. The visit comes days after his only remaining Republican opponent for the presidential ticket, Nikki Haley, said she is not dropping out of the race. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar will join us live at 7:30 this morning from Opryland with more on Mr. Trump's visit to Nashville.
Well, 5th District Congressman Andy Ogles is in hot water, according to some, about a video making rounds on social media. Pro-Palestine activists asking him last week about the children killed in the Gaza Strip. Ogles said, quote, "I think we should kill them all. If that makes you feel better, everyone in Hamas." So right now, though, he is really clarifying his comments. But first, want to share what the American Muslim Advisory Council released this statement right here on your screen, talking about the rhetoric and saying that it's an issue, but also that the values as a state, the citizens of Tennessee, that we deserve better when it comes to representation from those elected to office. Well, Ogles, his office, releasing a statement last night in an attempt to go ahead and clarify, clear the air. His statement in part reads, "These terrorists deserve to die." I was clearly referencing Hamas terrorists during this exchange. We'll continue updating this story as it develops both on air and online at fox17.com.
7:03 your time, waking up here dry, and we are warm. Look at the right side of your screen. Temperatures are in the 50s. We're 25 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday, so no winter coat needed. Light jacket, you should be okay, but grab the umbrella, please. It's not raining right now, but it will be by the time you leave later today. Say you're 9 to 5 in it. By the time you get out of work at 5, rain coming down. That's one change to the forecast. Small change to timing. No rain this morning until close to lunchtime, and then it picks up throughout the day, 6 p.m. to midnight. Chance for a broken line of some showers and thunderstorms that move across the entire area. When I say thunderstorms, it's always important to note, are we in code red for severe weather or not? No severe weather with this as it moves through. So if you hear some rumbles, don't worry about them. They'll move in quickly, and then they'll be out of here by the morning. Taking a look, breakfast forecast. Grab a bite to eat, you'll be good to go. You don't really need the sunglasses that much this morning because there's not going to be a whole lot of it. And one other notable thing here, 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts, middle of the day. So that's one more focus on the forecast for today. Is we're going to have the wind pick up, the clouds are out there, rain slowly moves in and gets heavier throughout the day, and then we get into the weekend. Colder nighttime temperatures to the point where we've introduced the word snow. Now, this is not an impact. This is not a big deal, and you may not even see a flake flying, but we'll see who has the chance and time it Friday night into Saturday coming up in the next check of your forecast.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get out to I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway. Approaching the Antioch area, things have run a little bit slow over there, and that is because of typical congestion that is moving in this time of the day. Coming up here from Antioch, moving towards downtown Nashville. The drive time is pretty long right now, 87 minutes or so. One other thing I wanted to point out, and this is sort of a personal thing. So this is I-24 close to Ellington Parkway, and I'm so glad they moved the camera this direction because I don't have time to properly address this patch of land right here as you make your way in. So when I drive to work every morning, we try to get here. We're pretty alert. We're out there on the road. But if I'm not fully awake, let me tell you, this thing right here will jolt my car to the point where I'm fully awake by the time I get here to the studio because of that particular patch right here. So the potholes are still out there, and even after the repair, it can still be a bit bumpy. So watch out for that as you get out and about. I'm sure you guys know the spot I'm talking about.
Taking up the middle lane, the left lane. Yesterday it was about 5 miles an hour. Bumper to bumper traffic through there. People trying to go as slow as they could over that entire chunk of concrete.
Not a good situation. Right now, though, we do have continuing coverage on the crisis at our southern border. U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty just led a group of Tennessee mayors and sheriffs to see it firsthand.
Right. So Senator Hagerty telling us that what's happening right now makes every state in America a border state, and that does include Tennessee. We've seen the pictures. We've shown you the video of illegal immigrants jumping the southern border. Many are lining up asking for asylum. Many of them have been granted that. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty says, though, the volume, so the sheer number, is providing cover for the flow of illegal drugs like fentanyl. Fentanyl killing hundreds of Americans every day.
We are being invaded at the border. Think about the numbers. 10 million people have come into this country. That's an estimate because we're not sure how many people have gotten away. 10 million people in the past 3 years. If that's not an invasion, I don't know what is.
Well, Senator Hagerty is also pushing legislation that would exclude migrants from being used to determine representation in Congress. Hagerty says that Tennessee fell just short of an additional seat in the last census.
7:07 is your time right now. There's a new drug on our streets. It's not fentanyl, and it's got police really concerned. It's normally used to put animals to sleep. Justin McFarland will explain the newest concerns.
And a reminder here, we are your only local station with traffic and weather updates live from 4 until 9.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:10 is the time. So listen up, everyone. There is a drug that is currently out there on the streets of Nashville, and it is not approved for human consumption at all. It is approved for animals. It's supposed to be animal sedative, but is now showing up on the streets of Nashville. Metro Police and their top drug officer says that the medication xylazine is starting to show up in a number of cases when it comes to cause of death and even in drug bust. What's worse is you cannot override the effects of xylazine with things like Narcan, like you can with other drugs. The drugs does leave open sores on the body and even the removal of limbs if it doesn't take your life first.
I recently had a homeless camp closed in my district, and I have seen what xylazine does to the human body firsthand. Going in these camps and seeing the decay and the loss of limbs is extremely traumatic. Not only just for those that see it, but my goodness, the people that have to deal with it.
So a member of Metro Council speaking there. Metro Police say that the xylazine is coming in from different places. They believe the southern border is one of them and is being packaged with things like fentanyl and meth.
7:11 our time. Taking a look at your code red forecast, and today is our next weather maker. We've been talking about it all week. It is arriving. Not here yet. Mainly dry and cloudy for the morning hours. Now, once we get past 10:30, 11 o'clock, a few showers begin to trickle in. But at least the immediate future, trying to get out the door is going to be good. A few storms arrive after 6 p.m. Non-severe thunderstorms. They move in pretty quickly, and they're out of here after midnight. Heavy rainfall and timing of that has been pushed back to 6 p.m. So between noon and 6, light rainfall. It's going to come down pretty steadily in little waves here, little pockets of it, and then the more organized stuff comes through after 6 p.m. Taking a look, why am I showing a snow thing when we hit 71 degrees yesterday? Because we're going to get that cold Friday night into Saturday where a few flurries are possible. Now, no impact, but taking a look at the Cumberland Plateau, the place that has the best chance to see that. Let's work through today first, and then we'll continue into the weekend. These are the morning hours, nice and dry, light green, meaning light rainfall begins to pick up. This is 1 p.m. We'll continue to roll through the afternoon. Then here come the dark greens and yellows. Starting at 6 p.m., southern Kentucky. Rocking and rolling with some decent rain. Then we go 9 p.m., moving in toward the Nashville area, and by midnight, it escapes the plateau, and we're good to go. This is where we stop again Friday night into Saturday morning. Midnight Friday into Saturday, a few specks of light green and light blue cannot be ruled out going into the morning hours of Saturday. Do not expect it to stick, but you could see a couple of flurries in the Cumberland Plateau.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning as we approach 7:13. Let's take a quick look here at I-24. This is near Hickory Hollow Parkway as you make that way out and about this morning. Slight slowdown starting to develop here, but the drive times, this is what's really getting to you here right now. 87 minutes coming in from Murfreesboro to downtown Nashville. That's close to an hour and a half. That means if you left now from Murfreesboro, you wouldn't get to Nashville till around 8:45 this morning. Well, coming up next, right here on Fox 17 News this morning, grocery prices just keep climbing higher and higher. But there's at least 2 Tennessee lawmakers who are trying to lighten the burden. We're going to tell you how they are planning to end the state grocery tax for good. Plus, Garth Brooks getting ready to open up his Friends in Low Places down there on March the 7th. We've got information on one of the special guests that he's inviting and what he's willing to do just to get him here.
I'm Blair Durham. After a crash, if the insurance company isn't helping you with your car, how do you think they're going to deal with you about your injuries? We can help. Call us at 615-242-9000.
The Sprint's President's Day sale with huge savings and 4 years no interest on the best mattress brands has been extended. Save up to $800 on adjustable Stearns & Foster mattress sets and save up to $500 on adjustable Tempur-Pedic mattress sets. Plus, get a $300 Sprint's gift card and 4 years no interest with any Stearns & Foster or Tempur-Pedic purchase. Also, save up to $500 on Sealy Posturepedic firm or hybrid mattress sets. It absolutely ends 5 p.m. Sunday at Sprint's.
Hey, you seeing this?
Wait, where's the dish?
There ain't one.
You're telling me you can get DirecTV, the good stuff, and you don't need a satellite dish? Oh, I used to love doing my business on those things.
You're one sick pigeon. Them dishes kept the rain off our beaks.
We just have different priorities is all.
Satellite-free DirecTV. Never thought I'd see the day.
Well, our lifespans are quite short.
Stream DirecTV without a satellite dish.
I'm gonna do this thing with my neck, just for a bit.
What does it take to be number one? At Darrell Waltrip Buick GMC, we're the #1 combined volume GMC and Buick dealer in Tennessee because of our huge selection of GMC trucks and SUVs, including Yukon and GMC commercial trucks. It's because of our large selection of new Buick SUVs and certified pre-owned vehicles. And it's because of our people. At Darrell Waltrip Buick GMC, we are professional grade, and we are #1. Visit DarrellWaltripBuickGMC.com.
The one thing that stuck in my mind about the Bart Durham commercials is that in your background said former U.S. Marine. You can trust them. I knew when you'd say something to me, I didn't have to wonder if you were telling me the truth.
Welcome back. 7:16 is the time. Ready to protect and serve. The city of Nashville welcoming 5 new officers.
Let's introduce you to them. Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell and the Police Chief John Drake hosting a graduation ceremony for the graduates you see here. They're all law enforcement professionals from other police departments who decided to come to Nashville to work here as part of our law enforcement team. So Fox 17 News welcoming you to Nashville, and I just want to say thank you for your service.
All right, let's talk about a story that I know is probably impacting so many of us. Food inflation across the U.S. Yeah. Oh my goodness, taking a toll on everyone. I get sad when I see my final bill.
I know. Doing everything we can to save a little bit of money at the grocery store, and economists this morning believe that food prices are not going to be going down anytime soon. Yes, we could now be in what is a new normal.
American consumers are now spending about 11.3% of their disposable income on food alone. According to the latest USDA data that is available, that has not happened. Okay, that number has not happened since President George H.W. Bush was in office.
Wow, this is why 2 Tennessee legislators right now say they want to do something about it. State Senator Charlene Oliver and Representative Afton Bain introducing bills in the Tennessee General Assembly. Their proposals would eliminate Tennessee's grocery tax for good, lifting a burden for Tennesseans. And to make up for the state's financial loss, if that went away, the bill would expand and modify taxes instead on business owners.
Last year, groceries were tax-free. You remember this, for 3 months, saving us about $180 million.
I mean, just that alone with how much you got to spend just to try to eat in the day can get to you. And then you're trying to drive to the grocery store later and you're getting pummeled with rain. You get soaked going in the grocery store, and you bill the whole 9 yards. I'll tell you what though.
Get the umbrella or the jacket.
Yes, if you prepare, that's the whole reason I'm doing what I do, is so you don't get stuck in something that you don't see coming your direction. So what you want to do is have the umbrella for the afternoon and the evening hours. You don't need it this morning so much unless you're going out right around lunchtime. A few light showers start then. That's the new thing in the weather story, is the fact of rain change of time. So moving in a little bit later, which means that our heavier rainfall hopefully waits long enough for the evening commute to end, and it'll just be light to moderate rain. We did introduce a few flurries for the Cumberland Plateau Friday night into Saturday. Those are no worry flurries, no impact, nothing that will stick. We have been way too warm. Looking ahead to storms next week, that could be our next batch of severe weather Tuesday into Wednesday. Way too far in the ball game. A lot of things happening between now and then, but our eyes are already on it. What we're tracking for today, showers and weak thunderstorms, again, with no severe implications. We're in the 50s. We were in the 30s yesterday. We hit 71 degrees. Now we're in the 50s and only going to be in the low 60s. What is going on and how does this work? Well, 71 after a 35-degree start. We woke up crystal clear yesterday, loaded with sunshine, got the ground to bring in a lot of heat. And when all those sun rays hit the ground, it heats the ground up. Think about when you're walking around all day, get ready to go to bed, your body's warmed up, you're good to go, and then you climb under the covers. Well, when you climb under the covers and you have the blanket on you all night, less of that heat escapes from your body. So you wake up, you don't feel really chilly, and that's how it was this morning. We had the cloud cover overnight, and it kept us a little on the warmer side. We're going to be cold, though, in the upcoming weekend. Back to the 30s at night and back to the upper 60s during the day, because we're going to be clear again overnight. Planning today, yellow light from noon all the way through 6 p.m. Just be careful driving. Have the umbrella. If you're using the wipers, use the low beams at the same time when you're going out. And just know that today will be in the 60s and breezy throughout the afternoon.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you to I-24 at Haywood Lane, making that drive in through town. Right now, you can see the traffic hitting a bit of a stop and go point here, coming in from Antioch there. You can see that slow down in the outside lanes. What you want to do is try to take Murfreesboro Road if you can, as the best way to steer clear. Here's a look from the south side, I-65 in the Franklin area as you make that push into town. We're doing okay here, but further south, we're having a problem. Let's take you down to Spring Hill. That's where it's 67 minutes on that drive right now because of a crash very close to the Saturn Highway Parkway their area. So please watch out for that. You could try to cut your way up through Spring Hill to get into town with Highway 6 or Highway 31, but it too is having problems.
Justin, thank you. New this morning and trending on Fox 17. Well, it looks like Taylor Swift is not the only musician who wants to, yes, team up with Travis Kelce.
Well, if you look at the building right behind us, this blue three-story plus the rooftop bar building is Garth Brooks' new Friends in Low Places bar. And Garth Brooks is looking to team up with Travis Kelce.
Yeah, so Brooks' new bar, Friends in Low Places, set to host their grand opening on March 7th. They've had the soft opening. This is the grand opening. And the country music legend invited Travis Kelce to join the celebration on Broadway.
Now, you might be wondering why. What do Travis Kelce and Garth Brooks have to do with each other? Well, as we take a live look on Lower Broadway, here's what we know. The NFL on Fox posted a TikTok of Travis Kelce singing the song Friends in Low Places at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Well, Garth Brooks got wind of that and said, hey man, come on down to Nashville. We'll send you a plane and you can come sing at my bar, Friends in Low Places. Now, he did put a disclaimer saying his plane only holds 11 people. Listen, I think Travis Kelce knows other people too. He's got friends in high places that could get him here easily.
On the run, Franklin police now searching for suspects involved in credit card scams. The clues and information and how you can help identify those responsible.
Our full line of F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some didn't, some not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
7:24 is the time in Operation Crime and Justice. The Franklin Police Department needs your help finding two people who are accused of stealing credit cards.
All right, let's roll the video here and show you who police are looking for. The man and woman seen in these pictures accused of stealing a wallet and credit cards and then used one of those cards to buy about $3,000 worth of stuff, including gift cards at a Sam's Club. They could be in this blue late model Nissan Altima.
In the meantime, the Clarksville police need your help trying to find three people, one in connection with some van burglaries that have happened here over the last month, where they've taken things out of a van.
All right, so in these pictures, you can see two people police say are responsible. They used a white Dodge Durango as their getaway car, you could say, and police say they stole tools, which are very expensive, from a work van near Windermere Drive. This is the white Durango police say they were in. So if you can help, again, this time this is in Clarksville, call police. You could be eligible for a cash reward.
You can also help your community stay in the know by sending us news tips. We are wanting to hear from you. We can keep your information confidential and work with you as we continue to tackle issues in our local communities. Also, do not forget to sign up for all of our latest news updates by visiting us on our website at fox17.com.
And taking a look at your forecast here and what we're going to expect for the rest of today and into the rest of this week. Today, light rain showers late morning into early afternoon. Then thunderstorms, non-severe thunderstorms, but this is Severe Thunderstorm Awareness Week. Comes at a good time because next week could give us some severe thunderstorms moving into the forecast. All week long, we've been tackling topics for you. This week's is severe thunderstorms. What gives you a severe thunderstorm when you have one that rolls in? It's not lightning with the thunder. It is not heavy rainfall. It is the amount of, well, not the amount of, but the strength of the wind that comes in. So wind gusts over 75 miles per hour. Hail's got to be an inch in diameter. That's a big hailstone. If it's anything smaller or anything less strong, then it goes into just a regular thunderstorm. Now, watches and warnings. Now, a warning means something's already out there that we see. Watch means we're waiting for it to potentially happen. Shelter immediately for a watch? No. A warning? Absolutely. You find your safe spot, basement, interior room. Do I have time to plan with a watch? Yeah, that's like a heads up. This could happen. With the warning, you're already in it. You have to plan ahead of time. Consider monitoring weather conditions. Well, I say always do that. But yes, when you know some strong weather could be coming your way, having that advanced alert, even days out in advance is why we go code red, can be very detrimental to staying safe.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-65. This is at Moores Lane down in the Cool Springs area. Traffic up there starting to see a bit of a stop and go as you make your way in this morning. We are not aware of any strong accidents in this area, just typical congestion as you get out and about. So heads up in that area. We continue to follow your drive times, some of them rather beefy. That includes that drive coming in from the Rutherford County area, Murfreesboro, 86 minutes on that drive. Franklin, 41 minutes in from the south side.
Bringing Major League Baseball to Music City. The latest efforts and the comments that you could say are hitting a home run with some local baseball fans.
Plus, we have solved the mystery behind.
And get 50 months, no interest financing with no minimum and no down payment. Only at American Signature Furniture.
The Good Feet Store. Improving people's lives 2 feet at a time. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Former President Donald Trump will be here at the Gaylord Opryland in Nashville addressing Christians. I'll have more on what he's going to be talking about in just a minute.
50s and a little overcast sky right now, but our next weather maker is just hours away, timing a new timeline for rain, when you can expect thunderstorms, and I'm introducing snow to your weekend forecast. A lot coming your way in just moments.
Steer clear traffic at I-40 at Spence Lane. You can see for yourself, traffic starting to slow down there coming in from the east side. We got a larger slowdown on 24. I'll tell you more about that.
And we do want to start by thanking you for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Fox 17 News, your only live local news source through 9 a.m. And we have an update right now to the breaking news of tens of thousands of wireless customers without service. AT&T most impacted this morning. The latest check, more than 73,000 customers do not have wireless service.
Yeah, and it's not only AT&T customers being impacted, also T-Mobile and Cricket customers and Verizon also responding to customer complaints this morning. We have not gotten a response, though, from AT&T so far. They've just shared updates on Twitter responding to folks who have said, hey, I'm having to connect my Wi-Fi. What's going on here?
Right. But those responses look to be auto-generated.
Correct. So we're not seeing something posted on their accounts saying, here's the issue and here's how we're responding to it.
So here we are 4 hours into this nationwide outage. We did get a response from Verizon, though. Verizon representatives telling us their network is now operating normally. We'll work to get more answers live through 9.
Making a buzz in the city, we're also updating you on this story making headlines right here in Nashville. GOP frontrunner former President Trump, making his way to Nashville to address Christians tonight at the Grand Ole Opry for the National Religious Broadcasters Convention.
And our Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live to give us a preview.
Good morning. Well, we've already seen several people walking in these hallways behind me, ready to welcome former President Donald Trump. His National Press Secretary, Caroline Leavitt, says that he's looking forward to addressing Christians who are conservatives, and he is also wanting to give them his vision plans. And a lot of the Christians that I've already spoke with say that they do have plans to re-elect him and bring him back to the White House. Leavitt says he'll be talking about several things, including his values of faith, family, and freedom, along with addressing the crisis at the border.
His plans to secure the southern border that Joe Biden has opened, causing a mass invasion of our country of nearly 10 million illegal people. That's more than the total population of the great state of Nashville and more than 39 other American states.
President Biden has also been campaigning this week in California. He's been campaigning on promises like student loan forgiveness. Coming up at 8 o'clock, you'll hear more about what former President Trump will talk about. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. And your voice, your vote, we want to go ahead and remind you about the dates for voting that's coming up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've got Super Tuesday coming up March 5th for the primary voting. Early voting, though, is happening now. It started back on February 14th, and it does go through the 27th. That's for early voting in the Tennessee primary. We've got all the hours, the locations, the ballots at fox17.com. But again, the reminder, March 5th is going to be Super Tuesday.
All right, Jen, thank you for keeping me on track. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist, keeping us on track with the rain on the way.
Yeah, and tracking it as it moves in. So 3 things to know as you're waking up here to get you through just the next 24 hours. 1, yeah, we're cloudy. Look out your window. We had the unlimited sunshine the last few days, but that is gone. The cloud cover kept us a little bit warmer overnight, though. Look at the right side of your screen. We'll keep your current temperatures up for you all the way through 9 a.m., even during the commercial breaks. You're waking up in the 50s. Expect the wind to continue to increase. It was a little breezy yesterday. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour later on this afternoon. So that's going to be one part of the puzzle. And eventually the rain begins to come down later this morning. I would say late morning into early afternoon, starting light, kind of sporadic, and then pick up in scope throughout the day. 6 p.m. to midnight. Best chance for heavier rainfall and also for a few weak thunderstorms. But you can see the wind increases right in the middle of the day. And then as the storms track away from Nashville, the wind starts to die down overnight, and then we're back to pretty decent but cooler Friday. This is your window of opportunity to get outside or get to the gym because we're not seeing any rain yet. We're already in the 50s and 60s, a little bit of a breeze, honestly, a great morning to exercise outside. Your 7-day forecast, and that was all just the next 24 hours, has much more to piece together. We get cold very quickly into the weekend. The word flurries, look up, is on your 7-day forecast on Saturday. We'll time that out for you, and then look ahead to possible severe weather by the middle of next week.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get out and about to I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway, making that drive in. We are dealing with a crash on the opposite side. So all the traffic going inbound to Nashville, you can see where that slowdown is happening here and a lot of congestion building up. On the other side, though, Metro Police dealing with the aftermath of a crash there that can cause some small, maybe some rubberneck delays coming in from that side, but nothing too huge overall. The drive time still extremely slow coming in from the Murfreesboro area at around 86 minutes. The wind shaking the camera up top in Franklin this morning. As you take a look down near Cool Springs Boulevard, everything moving along okay down on the ground. Unusual to see the wind tossing this camera around. We'll take a look, as Greg has been talking about, possible storms moving in a little bit later.
Right now, the story behind the disappearing streetlights and outdoor furniture in Clarksville. We've been hearing from folks saying, what happened to all this stuff? Well, we now know nothing got stolen. Instead, the street department has been doing a little bit of work.
Yeah, they're sending off the pieces to a company in Lebanon for a new powder coating. The benches, the trash cans, light poles, they're being recovered in a satin black finish. Okay, you don't have to scratch your head wondering what's happening. They're doing some projects. It's a $1.5 million maintenance project. In fact, it's expected to take about 6 months or so to wrap up. Just ahead, more on the school choice debate, why even some Tennessee lawmakers still are not sold on Governor Bill Lee's plan.
Garth Brooks' brand new bar, Friends in Low Places, set to host a grand opening coming up March 7th. New info.
Find your dream cookie or vehicle at sarahclarksville.com.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Pool & Spa Depot.
7:40 is the time. Want to bring you up to speed on breaking news, because if you're waking up and your AT&T phone is not working, you're not alone. And now we're hearing from Verizon and T-Mobile this morning as customers across the country continue to deal with a cellular outage. According to downdetector.com, more than 70,000 AT&T customers do not have service, along with about 4,000 Verizon and then 2,000 T-Mobile customers. Also worth noting, about 14,000 Cricket customers dealing with some sort of outage. Well, now T-Mobile and Verizon both telling Fox 17 News that they do not have any reported outages. Yeah, both companies say the numbers are likely from customers trying to reach AT&T customers. Meanwhile, still no response from AT&T.
7:41 is the time. We've got continuing coverage this morning when it comes to school choice in Tennessee. We have not seen all the details of Governor Bill Lee's voucher program, but we are starting to learn a little bit more about this from some amendments that were filed in the state Senate.
All right, so let's take a look here. Two senators, John Lundberg and Jack Johnson, laying out their individual plans. Lundberg's amendment would force students to test every year in order to qualify for those vouchers, while Mr. Johnson's amendment would center less on student accountability and more on capping the program at financial levels. For example, only $20,000 per student the first year, and putting a final cap on that money at $140 million.
Not everyone in the governor's party is still sold on the school choice program. Those who represent more rural areas suggest that the vouchers could hurt underfunded schools.
7:42 your time, and taking a look at our next weather maker, and it's a rainy and it's sometimes this evening going to be a stormy pattern. No severe weather expected with this. We'll track in the rain for you. That will stay away from most of the morning. Fairly cloudy. We're in the 50s. By 1 p.m., light green, still relatively light on and off rain showers. Then by 6 o'clock, southern Kentucky begins to get the yellows and oranges. Heavier rainfall, more organized rainfall that could bring in a few of those weak thunderstorms. They approach the Nashville area between 6 and 9 and track away from the plateau through about midnight overnight tonight, and then we're dry straight through your Friday.
Steer clear traffic for you at 742. Quick look outside. Let's get you to Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, making that drive down from Hendersonville, starting to run into some congestion for sure as you make your way in. Nothing out of the ordinary, though. What is out of the ordinary is what's happening down I-24 coming out from Clarksville. 74 minutes right now as we do have a crash around the Pleasant View area. Look at this. This all represents miles and miles and miles of backup there on 24. You want to take Highway 112, Highway 41 right here. That's going to be your best bet to steer clear.
Just to thank you, 7:43 is the time right now. Abuse allegations against a Clarksville teacher. Why the mother of a little boy with autism says the school district's response falls short.
Also coming up, basketball.
For a new Honda today, get more for your trade and payments from $249 a month. Honda inventory is here. Trade now for payments from $249 a month. Search your local Honda dealer today.
7:45 right now. Fox 17 News investigates the story coming from a Clarksville mother who's telling us a teacher put her hands on her 4-year-old son who has autism and calls this whole situation a nightmare. Not only is her son autistic, but is also nonverbal.
Fox 17 News' Amanda Chin joining us in the studio with the mother's emotional story.
Yeah, good morning, Jen and Erica. Well, this mother says she never thought something like this would happen to her miracle baby. For months, she's been struggling to get any answers from those who are supposed to protect her son. Jakira Crockett says she won't stop until her 4-year-old son, Landon, gets the justice he deserves. In October, Jakira says a teacher pulled her son's hair, grabbed his wrist, and put her hand on Landon's mouth. In a Fox 17 News public records request, we were able to verify the details with the director of schools who saw the video. The teacher in question denies putting her hands on the student. But Jakira doesn't understand why the district attorney will not take the case, as an advocate I spoke with believes this violates state law.
A teacher who was not my son's teacher went up to my son and put hands on. I'm frustrated. I'm getting the go around. No one's giving me answers. And as a parent, you have to do what you have to do.
Now, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, you'll see my full story, including what the school district and district attorney have to say. But for now, reporting live in the studio, I'm Amanda Chin, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Amanda, thank you. And Fox 17 News always working to share your stories and keep you in the know. So if you're interested in learning more about today's story that you just heard from Amanda Chin or any of our stories, you can have them delivered right to your inbox simply by signing up for our daily newsletter. It's on the homepage, fox17.com.
That's right. You know, we keep you updated on breaking news developments right here live on the air and also through that newsletter, plus our social media accounts. Do want to take a moment here to let you know we've got an update to breaking news right now. Live look from Nashville, where on the right side of your screen you can see the Batman building. That's also the AT&T building for Nashville. And we just got a statement response from AT&T regarding the nationwide cellular outages this morning.
Yeah, that statement does read, quote, some of our customers are experiencing wireless service interruptions this morning. We are working urgently, they say, to restore service to them. We encourage them to use Wi-Fi calling until service is restored.
All right, in the event of an emergency and you do not have cellular service here in the mid-state or southern Kentucky, maybe your phone is in SOS mode. If you did have an emergency, you should be able to operate SOS mode to reach your local first responders. But we're working to get you more information, and we'll keep you posted on this breaking news developing story live through 9.
Let's check in now with our Code Red meteorologist.
We talked about today's rain a few moments ago. Now let's talk about the potential for snow Friday night into Saturday. Do not go clearing shelves. This is not a milk and bread thing. This is the thing you might not even see. And nothing is going to stick. No impact. But if you start seeing on social media, oh, we're getting snow and all that hype and everything, it's not going to be anything that we can't handle. So this is, again, today, light rainfall early afternoon. We bring in the better batch of rain, 6 p.m. through midnight. No snow with that. That's not this system that we're talking about. Tomorrow, mainly sunny more than anything else, but cold air continues to wrap around the system that moves away from us. And look at midnight, Friday night into Saturday morning. Look at your screen. Know where you live. Take a look here through portions of southern Kentucky and out toward the Cumberland Plateau. After midnight through about 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, there will be a few mixtures of some light snow flurries and some light raindrops. Not an impactful event. Most of us see absolutely nothing. but colder temperatures. Nighttime temps will fall into the 30s Friday night and Saturday night. Today, 66. We're already in the 50s. If you haven't been outside yet, right side of your screen is not lying to you. We're in the 50s this morning. And then it'll be 30s overnight, Friday night into Saturday. That chance for a few flurries before you wake up Saturday. And then we're right back to the good stuff. Sunday, 68, partly cloudy. And then Monday through Wednesday, lower to mid 70s. But my eyes are already glued to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. That could be our next chance for stronger to severe thunderstorms.
Steer clear traffic gets out to the north side of town right now. 65 at Dickerson Pike, making that drive down from places like Madison, Hendersonville, Goodlettsville. We are running into that slowdown there. This is a typical slowdown, sadly. I wish it wasn't, but it is. So you're going to have to take appropriate measures by taking Dickerson Pike itself, Gallatin Road, Brick Church Pike. Those kinds of things can help you. Overall drive times look like this. Clarksville, 75 minutes. We've got a crash in the Pleasant View area. Murfreesboro at 86 minutes. Franklin, 41 minutes in from the south side.
Justin, thanks. In sports headlines this morning, a new ESPN report lists Nashville as a top contender for a Major League Baseball expansion team. Insiders say that Nashville's current pro teams, the Titans and the Preds, help make a pretty strong case for Music City as a sports town. But other cities are being considered for expansion, like Salt Lake City, Charlotte, and Austin.
And now that we have your attention, one of the biggest obstacles of bringing a Major League Baseball team to Music City is, yes, figuring out where a new stadium would go. Mapping it out behind you, right here, there has been some talk that the new stadium could go here on what is currently part of Tennessee State University's campus. Another option, though, as reported by ESPN, would then be over here, all right? That would be across the Cumberland River near the new Nissan Stadium. So right now we're asking you all to let us know what you think. Sound off. What do you think about all of this? You can see many of our comments from y'all at the Fox Nashville Facebook page talking about an MLB team here in Nashville. One of those comments says, I'm still gonna root for my Braves. Hey, you know. They're the home team for some folks. If you want to let us know what you think about MLB in Nashville, go to Fox Nashville Facebook account.
March Madness will be coming back to Nashville. Bridgestone Arena is hosting the Southeastern Conference for the men's basketball tournament. This is going to be huge for Nashville. Play will last from March 13th through the 17th. Plus, the SEC is hosting a party at the Music City Walk of Fame Park March 15th and 16th. So right there in the middle of that span, fans, you can come down there, watch the games together, especially if you can't get tickets to go inside of Bridgestone Arena. We'll have more details on the tickets, the pricing, and all that good stuff as we get closer to March Madness.
All right, it looks like Taylor Swift, not the only musician wanting to go ahead and partner up with Travis Kelce. The Chiefs tight end could be looking at a duet with Garth Brooks. We're going to explain this story.
All right, so Brooks has a new bar. It's called Friends in Low Places. We got a live look there this morning thanks to our photojournalist, David McClure. You can see they're still putting the finishing touches on this, leading up to the grand opening March 7th. The country music legend has invited Travis Kelce to join the celebration on Broadway, and here's why. During the Super Bowl parade for the Chiefs, Travis Kelce was seen on video singing Friends in Low Places, and Garth Brooks says, well, why don't you just come here to Nashville and do it?
That's right. So, you know, you never know what can happen. They say that they're really working on this. They even said, we have a plane that we can send to pick him up. I was messaging one of my friends who works there, and she says, no, we're serious. We're really working on this. I'm serious.
Now, listen, coming soon, I guess.
Listen up, college graduates and students. You may want to check your emails. More on the life-changing message that thousands of students got from our presidential candidates.
Are you having issues with your cell phone this morning? A live look from Nashville, the AT&T building on the far right. And yes, AT&T customers, more than 70,000 across the U.S. right now don't have.
On our full line of F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some did it, some not, but all with big savings. Town & Country Ford in Madison.
7:56 is your time right now. Check it out. The Nashville SC ready to get back on the field. We have a live look on the bottom right now. The season's home opener is titled the 615 match.
Okay.
The team is going to take on the New York Red Bulls Sunday, the 25th at Geodis Park, and tickets are on sale now.
And speaking of sports, listen to this. Apple is taking an even bigger swing at sports. The company just launching a free app for iPhone users that delivers real-time scores and stats and even optional live betting.
Apple Sports will offer live data from the NBA, the NHL, and MLS. During March Madness, it'll have real-time info for both men's and women's NCAA basketball. And while the app can alert you when a game is being broadcast, it will not stream games directly inside of the app. You're going to have to go to one of however many streaming services that exist now. Have y'all had that conversation in your home? I mean, my gosh, how many more streaming services do we need? Thankfully, you don't need that for us.
The irony, Jen, I literally did that yesterday, and we're now paying more for streaming than we do when we had cable.
See, exactly.
So it's time to cut the cord on cutting the cord for a few things. I don't even know. Taking a look here, weekend outlook. This might be a good weekend where at least the early hours of the day or the evening hours, if maybe you don't want to get out and about and you've had a chance to get outside the past couple of days, it's going to be cold. Could be a good inside day, at least part of it. Taking a look here, cold mornings, 30s both mornings. That's 20 degrees colder than what we have right now. Saturday, a couple of flurries possible through the Cumberland Plateau especially, and that's just about it. No impact for any of that. Rain is not here yet. We're in the 50s to start. We'll be in the 60s this afternoon. What we're going to do when we go into the 8 o'clock half hour, we'll stay only live and local news source. Those temps will stay right there to help get you out the door, but I've got two things that are coming your way that are going to be a little bit different than what they just were this past half hour. A new look at future track for today's hour-by-hour timeline, and my first thoughts on possible severe weather next week. You don't want to miss either one of those because we could be talking about the middle of next week with 2 days of potential strong to severe weather we'll look at.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a good look here at I-24. This is very close to Hickory Hollow Parkway. You can see for yourself the traffic moving through, but moving a little slow as we start to get congested in that area. Just picked up a new crash to show you. This is going to be I-40 at the I-24 junction on the east side. Car off to the shoulder. Emergency responders not even there yet, but once they do get there, they're going to force everybody over. So this is going to be a slow go. You may want to consider things like Elm Hill Pike, Lebanon Pike, or Murfreesboro Road to steer clear.
Justin, thank you. In our economy, we have an email from President Joe Biden that some say changed the lives of more than 150,000 people.
The Biden administration sent out notices telling those people that the government is canceling their student debt. The grand total, $1.2 billion. This comes as President Biden is promising to address student debt issues. Now, we know that debt doesn't necessarily just go away. Somehow, somewhere, it will have to be covered. That's another part of the story we'll continue to cover for you live through 9 a.m.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
8 o'clock on the dot. AT&T finally responding to the nationwide and local wireless outage. We're hearing from customers impacted here in the mid-state and what to do in case of an emergency.
Former President Donald Trump will be addressing Christians with conservative values tonight in Nashville. Coming up, I'll tell you where and what he plans to talk about.
Plus, a plan of attack. We have Tennessee leaders who now say what they want to do about the border crisis to our south after seeing the challenges firsthand and the impacts here at home.
And just a few hours away from our next round of rain and potential thunderstorms, breaking it down hour by hour and carrying you into a weekend with temperatures in the 30s all the way to near 70. A lot coming your way.
A lot to get to, but we do want to start by thanking you for waking up with us here on a busy Thursday morning on Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Here we are approaching hour 5 of a nationwide wireless outage, the highest impact with AT&T. And Erica, we have a breaking news update.
Oh yeah, we do. And AT&T not the only customers being impacted. T-Mobile, Cricket, and Verizon customers also saying, yeah, I'm seeing some issues when I try to make a call. So this is impacting Verizon customers we're focusing on across the country. And we do have an update regarding a statement. More than 70,000 AT&T customers reported outages on digital service tracking site downdetector.com. That was around 3:30 this morning. Nearly 6,000 outages of Verizon and T-Mobile customers also reported. AT&T sharing a statement, and I'm quoting here, "Some of our customers are experiencing wireless service interruptions this morning. We are working urgently to restore service to them. We encourage the use of Wi-Fi calling until service is restored." Listen here, though.
For those who depend on our carrier, like AT&T's, definitely does affect our business. So I was wondering how the AT&T going to deal with this kind of problems or situation with their customers.
Yeah, that's an Uber driver there sharing how they felt about this big issue. The company we know has encountered sporadic outages over the past few days. So now we're asking you, have you experienced any kind of AT&T issues?
Here are some of your comments right now over on our Fox Nashville Facebook page. Gina Bio says, yes, I was in a convenience store and nobody had service. They were Verizon, Cricket, and AT&T users. Well, Jeffrey Moritz Jr. taking a positive spin on this whole thing. He said, cool, my drive to work should be a little easier with less people on their phones.
8:02 is the time. Let's talk about politics. GOP frontrunner President Trump making his way to Nashville to address Christians tonight at the Gaylord Opryland Resort. It's part of a national religious broadcasters convention.
Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live this morning from the Gaylord Opryland with a preview.
Well, former President Donald Trump will be speaking in this ballroom behind me tonight. People I've already spoken with say that they are excited. Trump's National Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells me that he's looking forward to addressing Christians with conservative values who want to re-elect him as a Republican nominee and return him to the White House. Leavitt tells me that he'll be talking about things like tightening our border security. We've seen hundreds of thousands of migrants cross over illegally on our southern border. Other things that he'll be talking about is restoring faith, family, and values here in the United States. He'll also be reasserting his pro-life stance. But that's not all. Take a listen.
President Trump will also talk about his plans to rebuild our economy, and he will talk about his plans to bring peace back to this world. Under Joe Biden, we've seen nothing but chaos and more war.
Talking about President Biden, he has been in California since Tuesday campaigning on promises like student debt forgiveness. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Meanwhile, President Biden is on a 3-day trip to California for more campaign fundraising. And Mr. Trump's last remaining Republican opponent, Nikki Haley, continues her campaign schedule in South Carolina ahead of their Saturday primary.
We're going to check in now and get that Thursday forecast. Pack the umbrella.
Yes, please do. Not for this morning necessarily, but this afternoon and evening, steady rounds of rain begin to move in. It'll start late morning into early afternoon, and that's the new thing in the timeline that you're waking up to. 24 hours ago, it looked like we'd have some showers already out there on the radar. That is not the case. And this is also new. A little light rain and a few flurries are possible for a few of us Friday night into Saturday. No impact at all, but I want to show you it on the radar here in about 10 minutes. I'm looking ahead to some storms next week. These could potentially be on the strong to severe side. So we're working through 3 different weather makers in the next 7 days that will also impact your 7-day temperature outlook. Take a look. Today we're starting off in the 50s, right side of your screen. Beautiful. Wonderful start to the day. 66 degrees this afternoon will take us down to 46 overnight. Rain moves out overnight, and then we go to 59 for Friday. Very cold. Middle 30s on Friday night and Saturday night before we warm into Sunday, and then work into a nice warm pattern next week. But that is when that chance for strong storms will move in. We'll talk about that in 10 minutes as well.
Steer clear traffic this morning on I-40 and I-24 as you make that drive in. We do have a slowdown there on that outside lane after a car leaves the road. Unsure if it hit the rock wall or not, or if it's just pulled over there. Either way it goes, they're waiting on authorities to come help them out, and when they do, it's going to slow things down because everyone's got to move from here over here. And so that is going to cause a bit of a slowdown there coming in from the east side. You could take Lebanon Pike, Elm Hill Pike, all those things, because this is a rough area to have a crash because of how it's going to force everyone to move. This is the north side, I-65 and I-24. Typical slowdown coming in from that north side. The good news is a lot of the drive times have come down over the past few minutes. We're going to show you those coming up in a few.
Justin, thank you. We have continuing coverage now on the crisis at our southern border. U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty just led a group of Tennessee mayors and sheriffs there to really get this experience firsthand.
Yeah, so our Tennessee senator says what's happening right now makes every state in America a border town. We've seen all the images of people lining up along the southern border, either asking for asylum or people jumping fences or wading illegally through waters. Well, Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty says that the volume of people down there is providing cover for the flow of illegal drugs, the worst of which they say is fentanyl right now, a drug that is killing hundreds of Americans every day.
And Hagerty is also now pushing legislation that would exclude migrants from being used to determine representation in Congress. Hagerty says Tennessee fell just short of an additional seat in the last census.
Well, coming up in just a few moments, there's a brand new drug that people are overdosing on that has authorities very worried. The drug normally used for animals. We're going to give you the latest details on what they are seeing in the streets.
Quick reminder here, we are only local station with traffic and weather.
Earnest they had raised amounted to so much more. The Tennessee Lottery celebrates Black History Month.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. There is a drug that is normally used on animals. It's not approved for human consumption at all, and now it's showing up on the streets of Nashville. Metro Police say that the drug called xylazine is starting to show up as a cause of death in autopsies. And what's even worse is you can't override the effects of xylazine with Narcan like you can with other illegal drugs that are out there. The drugs can also leave open sores on your skin and even cause the removal of limbs if it doesn't take your life first.
There was a doctor, one of the emergency medicine doctors from Vanderbilt that was on one of the calls, and they stated that they most likely had been treating these significant wounds and not necessarily having known that they were attributed to xylazine. They were, treated just like cellulitis or some other large wound like that. And they were appreciative of the information that we were sharing with them, because otherwise I don't think they would have been able to start collecting the data there.
Now, a reminder, the xylazine is normally used as a sedative for cattle. Metro Police say that they believe the xylazine is coming in from places like Mexico and being laced along with other drugs like fentanyl and inside of certain mixes for meth.
8:11 your time, taking a look at the forecast and the timing of when you're most likely to see rain move its way into Middle Tennessee. Light rain showers will start west of the 65-40 corridor a couple hours earlier than this, but this is Nashville itself, going between 2 o'clock and then moving through 8 o'clock. This is the time frame right here, 8 going to 11, our best chance for the heavier rain and a few thunderstorms. So there will be a little light action before we get to 2 o'clock west of Nashville. Keep that in mind. But it tracks through the heart of Middle Tennessee right in the middle of the day through the first hours of tonight. Just green. This is not a joke. There's a chance for a little bit of light snow Friday night into Saturday. Little to no impact. One of those couple of flurries kind of things. We've had much worse than that throughout the course of this winter so far. The one place that could see a little bit of an impact would be the Cumberland Plateau, which is typical. Higher elevation, colder temperature quicker. We'll take a look at that and, of course, track today's rain in real time and using Future Track in the next check of your Code Red forecast.
Clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a quick look here at what we're dealing with on I-24 and I-40. Disabled vehicle right here against the wall. Been watching that for the last few minutes. Authorities have not yet arrived, but when they do, it will slow traffic down even more coming in from the east side. Here are your drive times right now. Some of these times starting to come down. Clarksville, they've cleared that accident up there in Pleasant View, so now 70 minutes on that drive and the time is dropping. Murfreesboro, 67 minutes. It was 87 minutes about an hour ago. So glad to see that time coming down. Hendersonville, 41 minutes coming through Sumner County as we've got slowdowns on both 65 and Vietnam vets, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. Grocery prices just keep climbing out there. But two Tennessee lawmakers are trying to lighten the burden a little bit. We're going to tell you how they are planning to end the grocery tax full time coming up in a few minutes. Plus, more of today's at 9.
Good morning. It is 8:16 and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. Metro Police just informing us that they have taken in about 70 pounds of pot from luggage at the Nashville International Airport.
Shouldn't bring that to the airport in the first place, but police say a canine officer alerted them to 3 pieces of luggage coming off a Southwest flight from Burbank, California. It was yesterday, and they say when they opened the luggage, they, found 68 pounds of vacuum-sealed marijuana.
By the way, this is not the first time that agents at B&A have found a huge load of drugs coming from California. We have Marquise Motley and Delonta Jackson both taken into custody at the airport and charged with possession and the intent to distribute all that marijuana right here in the mid-state.
Let's talk about grocery costs. Food inflation across the U.S. is really taking a toll on all of us. I'm sure you have seen those high prices when you're in the checkout lane.
Oh, absolutely. We're all trying to do what we can to save a little bit of money here and there, but unfortunately, economists do believe that the prices we're seeing right now could be the new norm. All of us now spending about 11.5% of our disposable income on food. According to the latest USDA data available, that hasn't happened since President George H.W. Bush was in office.
This is why 2 Tennessee legislatures, they want to do something about this issue. We're talking about State Senator Charlene Oliver and then Representative Afton Ben. They have introduced bills in the Tennessee General Assembly. Their proposals would eliminate Tennessee grocery tax for good, lifting that burden for Tennesseans entirely. To make up, though, for the state's financial loss, the bills would then expand and modify taxes on businesses.
Right, you can't take a tax cut hit like that to the tune of billions of dollars without replacing it somewhere somehow. Last year, by the way, groceries were tax-free for 3 months here in our state, in case maybe you hadn't moved here at that point. You missed out last summer, and that ended up saving Tennessee folks about $180 million.
We're going to check in now for that Thursday forecast. And Greg, we also have an eye on Saturday. Snow? Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening here. None of them are big deals until next week, but they're inconveniences and they're kind of ups and downs. We hit 71 yesterday, and now we're talking snow Friday night.
It's that Tennessee swing. Welcome to Tennessee, y'all.
Can we talk like a porch swing, a better swing? Taking a look, getting out the door. Even this morning is a temperature swing compared to yesterday morning. We were in the 30s. Now we're talking 50s to wake up to. No complaints here. Temperatures in the 50s, little cloud cover, but no real threats for rain until late morning into early afternoon. Here's the next weather maker and what has changed since yesterday. Mainly dry and cloudy for the morning. Mainly dry and cloudy for the morning. Rain does move in late morning into early afternoon, starting light in nature. Pockets of rain, a little more widespread after we get past, say, 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. Between 6 and midnight, heavier rainfall. But we're pushing that timeline from 6 all the way to midnight now, and there will be a few heavier rain showers, maybe even a few weak thunderstorms as this moves in. Here's the new timeline. We take to 1 o'clock going into the afternoon. Light green, light rain, not necessarily covering everyone, but there will be isolated rain showers within the 65 west corridor throughout that time frame. I'd say 11 to 1 p.m. We go 6 p.m. 6 p.m. goes to 9 o'clock. Look where it's at, very close to Nashville in that time frame. And then moving through, getting out of here by about midnight. You wake up tomorrow morning, colder, but you wake up dry tomorrow as well. So you can't get everything out of it, but at least what this does is not going to be a nuisance for us Friday night into Saturday morning. We're talking overnight. Not many daylight hours here. Out of here by 6 a.m. A few flakes are possible in the area shaded in blue. No impact, nothing that's going to stick. But if you're up during that time and you start seeing a few flakes coming down, don't immediately go to the grocery store and clear the shelves. We're not doing anything like that. This is just a real quick clipping system overnight, and that's just because we're cold. Temps in the 30s Friday night and Saturday night, and then we get warmer back to the upper 60s and low 70s leading into next week.
Steer clear traffic. Let's take a look at I-40 and I-24, making that drive down again. We are waiting for authorities to arrive, trying to take care of this car disabled here on the shoulder of the road. And when that car gets there, it should squeeze everything over. Until then, it's just normal congestion coming in on I-40 and I-24 there at the junction. Let's take a look here. The drive coming in from Antioch starting to ease up quite a bit. This is I-24 close to the Tanger outlets there in the Antioch area. Overall, doing okay. We're going to give you the latest drive times that we have, but no major accidents other than this one, and authorities aren't there yet. No major accidents slowing you down in a big way. We'll continue to watch things.
Justin, thank you. Operation Crime and Justice now. A Nashville woman, a survivor of domestic violence, takes every step possible to protect herself from her accused abuser.
Despite this, she ended up murdered the same day her ex-husband got out of jail.
Her name is Michaela Carter. She called Metro Police after getting threats. Right after a Metro Police officer left her house responding to those threats, Carter died. The city of Nashville settling a lawsuit with her family, but her family says that money is not enough.
We need every officer to respond to every domestic violence call with compassion, with empathy, and with intention.
The changes they want to see and what happened to that officer? Don't miss this story tonight on Fox 17 News at 9.
On the run, Franklin police right now looking for people involved in credit card scams, the clues and information on how you can help identify the people accused.
And Taylor Swift, not the only musician wanting to team up with Travis Kelce. Yeah, the Chiefs tight end looking to make a duet with Garth Brooks at his new bar that we're taking a
F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some didn't, some not, but all with big savings. Town & Country Ford in Madison.
Breaking news on the entertainment front. Check this out. Hit-making entertainer Jelly Roll posting on social media, revealing details of his Beautifully Broken tour. Okay, so this arena tour does mark the Antioch natives' biggest headlining tour to date. It's going to kick off Tuesday, August 27th. Mark your calendars. But it's happening at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. We're following this story. You can read more updates on fox17.com.
Well, from Jelly Roll to Garth Brooks and friends in low places, it looks like Taylor Swift is not the only musician who wants to hang out with Travis Kelce. The Chiefs tight end could be teaming up with Garth Brooks if Brooks has his way.
Could be.
And a lot of times Garth Brooks does get his way.
He does get his way quite a bit. He's been very successful, to say the least. Garth Brooks has a brand new bar opening up on Lower Broadway. If you haven't heard, it's called Friends in Low Places. It is set to have a grand opening coming up here on March the 7th. And the country music legend is inviting Travis Kelce to join in on the celebration there on Broadway. Now, the invitation came after the NFL on Fox posted a TikTok video of Travis Kelce singing Friends in Low Places at the Super Bowl parade. Garth says he will be happy to send a plane to get Travis Kelce from wherever he may be. He may not be in Kansas City. We don't know where Travis Kelce's at.
He might be on tour with his girlfriend.
He may be. And he could bring him and up to 11 of his friends here to Nashville for the big grand opening.
Maybe he's hinting at Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, and her entourage?
Yeah, well, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, plus 10.
The entourage,
yes,
all right.
Plus 10.
8:26 right now. In Operation Crime and Justice, Franklin police say they need some help finding two people accused of stealing credit cards.
Take a look at your screen. They say that this man plus another woman seen in some pictures, they were taking credit cards, they claim, from people out there in Franklin, and they were using those credit cards to buy around $3,000 worth of gift cards at a local Sam's Club. They could be driving this blue late model Nissan Altima. Anyone with information is asked to call police.
Called it just a minute ago, the Tennessee swing. I don't remember when I coined it that, but it was years ago, and it holds true today, Greg.
It does. I mean, I was thinking chutes and ladders.
All over the board, man.
Clearly we are. And taking a look here, we have a few showers and storms later today. This is Severe Weather Awareness Week. We've been talking about it all week to gear up for that severe weather season. We've covered topic after topic. Today's thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms specifically. Our storms later today will not be severe. Hail won't be large enough and wind won't be strong enough, but there still could be some thunder and some lightning. Next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we have to watch a large area of the country as of right now. We're still almost a week away from this, but next Tuesday into Wednesday, strong thunderstorms that could produce any type of severe weather are possible across all of Tennessee and southern Kentucky. So we're going to keep our eyes glued to that. In the meantime, what we get today, low concern level at best. Taking a look, though, always have a reliable weather app, the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. Why don't you have it yet? Go get it. You can scan the QR code that I'll show you in a little bit. And a weather radio, just stay up to date. Follow us on social media. Follow us here on air. We'll always make sure you know what's coming your way well before it gets to you.
Coming up next, we'll have an update on steer clear traffic as we follow a crash on I-24 at Haywood Lane. It's got a couple of lanes shut down.
And we're talking baseball this morning. Spring training right here upon us.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Southeast Financial Credit Union. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Religious Broadcasters Convention is underway, and former President Donald Trump will be the keynote speaker. Coming up, I'll have more details on that.
Our next weather maker is upon us. The wind is increasing, the clouds are here, and the rain arrives just hours from now. I'll track the rest of your day for you and take you into your weekend in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic. We continue to follow a crash on I-24 near Haywood Lane. They've moved it off of the interstate. That's the good news. We're going to tell you how long the drive is coming up in a few.
I want to start, though, by thanking you for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. This is our last half hour of your live local news source through 9 a.m. And making headlines this morning, a visit this afternoon from the GOP frontrunner, former President Trump. He is making his way to Nashville today to talk to Christians at the Gaylord Opryland Resort. This is part of their National Religious Broadcasters Convention.
Right now, though, Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar giving us a preview. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. Well, I've already spoken to some Christians walking through here that tell me that they're excited to welcome former President Donald Trump. He'll be speaking at that ballroom tonight. Trump's National Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells me that Trump is looking forward to speaking to Christians with conservative values who want to re-elect him not only as a Republican nominee, but return him to the White House. She says he'll be talking about securing the southern border, fixing the economy, values of faith, family, and freedom that he says are under attack by the Biden administration. But that's not all. Leavitt tells us more.
The need to get the rot out of our public education system, critical race theory, radical gender ideologies that have been pushed on the minds of innocent young children across this country.
That's just one of the many topics he will be addressing tonight. I just spoke to someone with the NRB who tells me that Trump is scheduled to be here at 8. He might be pushing it to 9 when he'll be speaking. Now, as you mentioned, former President Donald Trump is a GOP frontrunner, and he is leading Nikki Haley, the Republican presidential candidate, just as recently as South Carolina, and she says that she won't quit. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Meanwhile, President Biden is on a 3-day trip to California right now for more campaign fundraising.
And Trump's last remaining Republican opponent, Nikki Haley, is continuing her busy campaign schedule in South Carolina ahead of their Saturday primary. So a lot more updates to come.
When it comes to your voice, your vote, we just want to remind you here that you still have time to cast your early ballot in the presidential primary here in Tennessee.
Yeah, take a look at your screen. In Tennessee, early voting for the March 5th has already begun, and it's going to run through February 27th. We do have a link for the hours, the polling locations, and sample ballots. All of that is available at fox17.com.
Right now, 8:34 is your time, and we've got a new check of your forecast here this half hour with meteorologist Greg Bobus, who is taking a look into something of interest this morning.
Yes, we saw grumblings of this about a half hour ago popping up on Twitter that there was a solar flare overnight around the same time that a lot of these cell phone outages started. So I want to take a little deeper look in the science, so I make sure I make it as easy to understand as possible. So here we go. Now, this is no guarantee by any means that it's what's causing this to happen, but typically the sun has what's called a solar wind. It just gives off energy all the time toward the earth. It's always doing it. It never stops. But sometimes it can get a little bit stronger. But see, we've got a little force field around us, a little shield, the magnetic field, which is actually why your magnets work the way they do. Both of our poles are opposites, so they help keep a lot of this stuff away from us. Well, a solar flare is an enhanced version of this, where think shooting a beam straight out of the sun, and it gets a little hard for the magnetic field sometimes to keep that force field around us and keep anything electronic from being protected. We have no indication yet that this is what happened in terms of the direct impact to the cell phone outages, but we do know that around midnight last night there was a solar flare, and we're kind of just watching to see what NASA has to say about it and all the projections of what happened. But this could be the reason behind you being stuck in SOS mode this morning if you have an AT&T phone.
Steer clear traffic out there for you, so let's take a look at I-24 at Haywood Lane. This crash right here on the shoulder of the road at one point was square in the middle of the interstate. They had an ambulance here. They were very afraid that there were several people who were hurt. Thankfully, they were able to move it over to the shoulder of the road where they would just continue to operate over there. You can see the TDOT worker out there picking up debris left over from that crash and taking it away. So they're over there on the shoulder, no longer causing big delays. That is great news for those of you coming in from Antioch, because the drive just got to an hour a short time ago. Other than that, we continue to watch that wind. You know, Greg, I did not hear you mention it, but we've seen a couple of our TDOT cameras shaking around in a big way. And here's an example of that. I-40 at I-24, that camera is shaking. The people down below still trying to figure out what to do after an earlier crash. Authorities still not there yet. We'll continue to watch it.
Our Crisis in the Classroom series continues after the break. More on school choice debates. Why even some Tennessee lawmakers still are not sold on the governor's plan.
And we're hearing from you this morning about the wireless outages with AT&T, T-Mobile, and Cricket. Thanks so much for all of your comments over on my Facebook page. Want to let you know I just checked with the website downdetector.com.
An additional $1,000 on eligible items and get up to 36 months free financing at Electronic Express.
The Good Feet Store, improving people's lives 2 feet at a time.
8:40 is the time here on this Thursday morning. We've got continuing coverage when it comes to school choice here in Tennessee. We have not seen all the details of Governor Bill Lee's voucher program, but we are learning more about it from the amendments that are filed in the state Senate.
Okay, let's break it down. We have two senators, John Lundberg and Jack Johnson, who have laid out their individual plans. Lundberg's amendment would force students to test every year in order to qualify to get those vouchers. Mr. Johnson's amendment centers less on student accountability, but it does aim to cap the program at 20,000 students in the first year and a dedicated $140 million.
Not everyone in the governor's party is sold on school choice. There are those who are in the Tennessee House and Senate who represent more rural areas. They're very concerned that school vouchers could hurt some of their underfunded schools in their districts. Well, let's go to other news this morning from the state government to city government. In this case, the city of Nashville. We're talking about Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell, who was sharing his appreciation to the Metro Council after they passed his very first capital spending plan.
So what's in it? How are your taxpayer dollars going to work? Well, the mayor released a statement saying, quote, "I'm delighted that the Metro Council on Tuesday voted unanimously to approve my administration's first capital spending plan. It invests $514 million into neighborhoods in all corners of Davidson County."
The plan didn't even get a whole lot of debate, honestly, among the Metro Council. The plan does include some funding for multiple things across the city, including Metro schools, Metro parks, the Nashville Department of Transportation, and other city services.
It is 8:41 right now. Watching several things on the weather front. We've got rain for today, potential snow flurries as we get into the weekend. And then Greg will keep a long range look on some potential severe weather next week.
We got a lot of things going on here in 7 days, and we're going to condense it as easily as possible and get you moving here today. Mainly dry and cloudy this morning. That has been the case. Temperatures right side of your screen have been in the 50s. We're going to be in the low to middle 60s early afternoon. Wind picking up. Our peak wind gusts will be right around noon, 1 o'clock. Then heavy rainfall timing has been pushed back. Our first raindrops start later this morning and then really pick up throughout the day. Light at first, 6 o'clock until midnight. Best chance to see some heavier rain. So here is that batch of light rain already in here by about 1 o'clock, and then by 6 p.m. the band of rain that could give us even some weak thunderstorms begins to track in. That is out of here by the time we hit midnight overnight, and then we're dry for your Friday. We'll talk about that snow chance and give you a look at your 7-day forecast coming up in just a little bit.
8:42 is the time. Do want to bring you back up to speed when it comes to the outages. A massive cellular outage hitting AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon customers across the country. So we're taking a closer look at the updated numbers. About 74,000 AT&T customers reporting outages still, and that's according to the digital service tracking site downdetector.com. Cricket also noticing 14,000 outages, nearly 6,000 outages of Verizon and T-Mobile combined also being reported. AT&T, though, they have released a statement. I'm reading it. Quote, Some of our customers are experiencing wireless service interruptions this morning. We are working urgently to restore the service to them. We encourage the use of Wi-Fi calling until service is restored.
Coming up next, abuse allegations against a Clarksville
Of F-150s plus 1.9% financing for 72 months available. Some scratched, some did it, some not, but all with big savings. Town and Country Ford in Madison.
It is 8:45 right now. Fox 17 News investigates allegations that a Clarksville teacher pulled a student's hair, grabbed his wrist, and put her hand over that child's mouth.
Well, that child has autism and is nonverbal, and his mother says getting answers from the school district, it's been a complete nightmare.
Fox 17 News reporter Amanda Chin sat down with the mother and is pushing the school district and the district attorney for answers.
This letter from a Clarksville principal confirms a teacher put hands on 4-year-old Landon Crockett, who has autism and is non-speaking. The principal calling these actions not warranted or an appropriate response.
A teacher who was not my son's teacher went up to my son and put hands on him.
Landon's mother, Jakira Crockett, wants a copy of the surveillance video, but she's been repeatedly denied.
We had our first little girl and we lost her. So this is our miracle baby.
Jakira's lived in Clarksville with her husband for 4 years now, since he's in the military. But on September 21st, Jakira says she received a phone call she never thought she'd get.
September 21st was my son's picture day, and I had braided his hair. And he was off to school.
Her husband went to pick Landon up after his teacher told the Crockett's he was having a rough transition at school.
And as soon as he gets home, he takes his stuff off and says, "Mama," and he's like pulling on his braid. And I'm like, what happened?
Later that afternoon, she received a phone call from the principal of his school, Minglewood Elementary in Clarksville. Jakira and her husband watched the video of the incident. Fox 17 News also requested a copy of the video. After several back and forths, we kept getting denied, with the district saying video surveillance exists for the safety and security of the facility, where that footage is confidential since those records are related to school security. The district says since this case may be pending litigation, they have no further comment. However, in a public records request by Fox 17 News, we received a copy of teacher Stacy Williams' disciplinary file related to this incident. The director of schools also sent a letter to the teacher stating she reviewed the video of the incident herself and said, "Video footage confirmed your actions to include placing your hand over the student's mouth, pulling his hair, grabbing his wrist arm, and yelling in the student's face." Williams denies hitting, touching, or striking Landon. The director of schools gave the teacher a 3-day suspension without pay. What did you say to the school as to what you would like to see happen to this teacher?
I made it very clear from the beginning. I just wanted her to be removed from the school and her license to be taken. To me, that seems pretty simple for someone who put hands on a child. If you, as a school district, think that it is acceptable for a teacher to put hands on a child in that manner, you should not be working for the school system.
Jakira even had the SRO write up a simple assault report for the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, where she would then be given a warrant. But Jakira says the district attorney general decided he wasn't going to take the case, which meant case closed.
He also said that in the state of Tennessee, hair pulling is not considered assault or abuse. He said it's considered unwanted touch. And we asked him to pull out the law book. We wanted to see where in the law book it states that, and he couldn't give it to us.
Bethany Midget Stagel is a disability advocate. Bethany is helping the Crockett family and has advocated for around 50 families for a decade now. While corporal punishment is legal in Tennessee, the school district's policy prohibits it.
It was one of the worst cases I had ever been exposed to be honest. For a teacher to use corporal punishment, which that's what it is by definition, physically touching a student, and then literally getting a slap on the wrist was just, I was floored.
But Bethany also feels this violated state law.
Pulling somebody's hair is intent to cause harm. By definition, that in itself should have justified, the school proceeding with at least, giving her an assault charge. Even if the school removed the policy that it's prohibited in general at CMCSS, under state statutes through Tennessee education law, corporal punishment against a special education student is prohibited.
I reached out to the district attorney asking him for an interview and citing the laws that may apply to this case. While General Robert Nash seemed open to an interview, he tells me he is still waiting for the complete investigative file related to this case and will contact me when he receives it. Jakira says she's not stopping anytime soon.
I may not have my answer right now, but I can't give up on my son.
And says there's no amount of money in this world that will change how she feels.
That mom, very emotional. Amanda, what is next for this case?
Yeah, well, as I just mentioned, the district attorney is still waiting for that full investigative file. So we will see what he has to say. He says he will reach back out to me to see if he plans to reopen the case, because right now the case is closed. So we'll wait to see. I'll reach back out to the district attorney. I'll keep in contact with them. Another thing is the district has told me that the teacher is still employed at Minglewood Elementary, and as we saw in that piece, the mother is not happy with that as she fears for the safety of other students as well.
Okay. Amanda, thank you for your reporting. We'll work to get more updates soon. Right now, though, at 8:51, just wanted to let you know that we continue to monitor the breaking news story of the morning, both here at home and nationwide, and that is the wireless outage for AT&T and other wireless customers.
With low 1.9% financing up to 60 months. Plus, a $1,500 trade-in assist for any SUV trade. Trade-in assist cash now at North Nashville's Nissan of Rivergate in Madison.
Right now, we're doing a quick recap of our top stories, including the breaking news regarding a massive cellular outage hitting AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon customers.
All right, so the latest update from AT&T, which does seem to be the hardest hit this morning. More than 70,000 customers of about 200 million in all impacted this morning. We are also getting word here just moments ago with the local impact. AT&T has now notified the Rutherford County Emergency Communications District that AT&T Wireless and FirstNet customers cannot make or receive voice or data calls to and from mobile. That does include 911 calls. So again, this is the alert right now from the Rutherford County Emergency District. They're saying that their technical teams are trying to resolve the issue. Folks, just be aware that this continues to be a problem this morning, and all that we've heard from AT&T on their part is they're aware that there's a problem and they're trying to fix it.
It's certainly a story you're going to want to follow the updates on fox17.com throughout the day. If you can, with your Wi-Fi, have access to that. Yeah. Also talking about former President Donald Trump making a stop in Nashville today, speaking to a group of religious broadcasters. Mr. Trump is set to speak at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention that is over at the Gaylord Opryland Resort.
His visit comes days after the only remaining Republican opponent for the 2024 ticket, Nikki Haley, said she is not dropping out of the race.
In sports, a new ESPN report listing Nashville as a top contender for a new Major League Baseball, well, I should say just a Major League Baseball expansion team, not a new.
Right. So much talk about this over the last year or so. The Nashville Stars is a group that has been put together specifically to work on this. And, the insiders say that because we've got the Titans and the Preds, it makes a pretty strong case for Major League Baseball in Nashville. We'll let you know as the story develops.
And one last check of your forecast here. Rain moves in this morning, picks up throughout the afternoon. Our heaviest rainfall 6 p.m. through midnight.
Such a great deal and a cool product. Right now, we're offering 38% off the Counto scale. Head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
Puppy strangles is an uncommon disease that is most commonly diagnosed in young or juvenile dogs. It's given its name because the animal's lymph nodes swell, which to some gives them the appearance of being strangled. In addition to enlarged lymph nodes, Fever, soy joints, inappetence, and pustules around the face or on the skin are some of the other clinical signs that you may notice. Although not entirely well understood,